Hello again, everyone. Lucas Berry, Chris Rader here with you on the Riverside Network. We have football. Football on a humid and muggy Friday night, the exact opposite of what it was last week. But Chris, Riverside comes in here facing off against Oak Hill. Last year's game with these two down at Riverside was interesting to say the very least. You got a team in Oak Hill that pulled out a win from somewhere deep in that hat last week. And now they're coming in here facing a Riverside team that lost by 12 to Greenbrier, but all I've seen from Riverside so far is that that's a team that's going to scrap and fight for four quarters tonight.
Yeah, the game last year was actually pretty ugly. Both teams made a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of turnovers. It lasted forever. There was a ton of incomplete passes, long injury timeout. I remember Greg Christ and I made a joke that we should have worn our pajamas. Riverside is kind of an enigma to me, and I'll tell you why. They came in last year. They played East the first game last year, and Malachi Hope, who was a freshman last year, had 180 yards. And he was kind of a kid that when he came in, a lot of people thought he'd be a good player, had a great debut. And I'm thinking, you know what, they're going to just feed Malachi the whole game. They threw the ball about 40 times. They never tried to establish Malachi. He had about 7 or 8 carries. He was really kind of an afterthought in the game plan. And when I was talking to Brad Compton midweek this week, when they got the Greenbrier East tape from last week, they were expecting to see a heavy dose of Malachi Hope. And he said he wasn't really a factor in that game plan either. So I think that he's probably their best offensive weapon, but it seems like that their appetite to feed him the ball wanes from game to game. So I'm not sure what we're going to see tonight. And they actually changed quarterbacks at halftime last week. They started off with Dasani McAllister, and then at halftime switched to Tavion Woods. So I'm not even sure who's going to get the start tonight. So there's a lot of unknown with Riverside coming in here tonight, Lucas.
Well, let's kind of pin that back on Oak Hill. We had a lot of guys who were pressed into service due to injuries and things of that sort last week. Now we're talking about you don't know what quarterback to prepare for, and you're asking guys who haven't played a whole lot, save that one game, to prepare now for 2 quarterbacks. That presents a challenge for Oak Hill tonight.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm not sure what we're going to see tonight. I do know that one of the kids that was pressed into service, that when he got in there as early as he did, I was a little surprised. Jagger Knox. His play last week when defense actually earned him a start. He's going to be a starter at the outside linebacker position. But if you remember last week, we talked a little bit about Oak Hill's depth or lack thereof. And again, that's going to be tested even more because last week, if you remember, Jake Bennett went out with a knee injury. And when I talked to Brad on Wednesday, he's going to be out at least several weeks. So he's got an injury to that knee. They're not exactly sure the scope of it yet. But he's going to be out at least several weeks. So, we were talking in the pregame last week about how Oak Hill doesn't have a ton of depth. And already they had a starting corner who went out in the West Side scrimmage. Jake Bennett came in off the bench last week. He's going to be out several weeks with the knee. So, depth or not, you're going to have some kids pressed into service that maybe 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago you wouldn't think were going to.
Oak Hill comes out on the field tonight in a blackout except for the helmets.
I like the look, man.
I do too.
I really do. I like the look. And I like the numbers.
Yes.
One of my pet peeves when I watch, college football especially is I don't like the font of the numbers. I like that. Those are old school numbers Oak Hill's gotten. They're easy for us to see up here, so I can appreciate that as a broadcaster.
We appreciate the classics is what we
do. We appreciate the classics. Yeah, keep playing the classics, Oak Hill, and we'll be a fan.
We'll be fine. All right. So we're just about set the gun away. Did not see who won the toss, so I can't tell you that. But we will find out in due course. We want to make a note of a bit of a tragedy that happened. Our referees tonight are from the Kanawha Valley Football Officials Association, and they'll be wearing black armbands because when one of their own, Mr. Marvin Smith, passed away over the week, and we certainly want to send our condolences to his family in this most difficult time. And you need officials to play a game, but I'll just go ahead and say it. I applaud these guys for getting out there and honoring one of their own and being here so we can play a game.
Yeah, and officials, that's a tight-knit community, too, so they all know each other. And, they take a lot of verbal abuse from fans, so they kind of stick together. So when a tragedy like that happens, they definitely feel it. And they made an announcement before we went to air on the PA that they were wearing armbands in Marvin Smith's memory. So, yeah, that was a real tragic event that happened this week.
Well, we have a moment. Looks like we have a second to talk about who the officials are. Our referee is Andy McPherson. The umpire is Cheston Roberts. Line judge is Fred McPherson. Linesman is Travis Brown. Side judge is John Tinnell. Field judge is John Beard. And back judge is John Dickens. We have the John crew tonight.
Lucas, it looks like I'm going to assume Oak Hill won the toss. I don't know. Riverside may have won it and decided to take the ball. That's a Neil Brown strategy.
We don't talk about that anymore.
That I'm glad is gone.
We're on to Rich Rod, okay?
When WVU won the toss last week and deferred, I texted a couple of my friends. I was like, man, it's nice to have a coach that wins the toss and defers to the second half.
Yeah.
So we're going to assume that Oak Hill won the toss and deferred, and they're going to kick off, and that's going to be Andrew Wingrove. And I think last week I might have called him Luke Wingrove at some point. So if you're a parent or a grandparent of Andrew Wingrove and I called him that, I apologize. Nobody likes to get the kid's name wrong, least of all me, but it does happen sometimes. It was my first week too. So that's going to be Andrew Wingrove.
Andrew Wingrove, yes.
Who gets that kickoff. And he did a nice job last week. Something Oak Hill's done a lot the last couple of years is kind of squib it. He did a nice job last week of putting that inside the 10. And actually his last kickoff, he got a touchback out of it. So, Andrew did a really nice job on the kickoffs last week for Oak Hill.
Yeah, he did, and that's a weapon. It can be a weapon if you do it right.
If you cover the kicks, if you cover the kicks, and Oak Hill, they had a couple kicks that maybe got out there a little further than they wanted to, but the way I look at it, it's still better than the opponent starting at the 40 or 45, which the last couple of years has happened quite a bit.
You're not wrong.
And the opponent never did start that far out last week, thanks to Andrew's kicks.
All right, everyone's set. Now we've got something sorted out that no one up here knows what was going on. Riverside will be indeed receiving the kick, and they will be going from left to right on your screen.
That's going to be Logan Tudor back to receive, and I'm trying to catch that other number, Lucas. I think that's number 2, Vaughn Brockman.
I had a chance to watch him at Valley last year.
He was a highly talented middle school kid, yeah. And I know actually a lot of the Oak Hill coaches were hoping he would come up here. He ultimately decided to go to Riverside, but he's a kid that they think has a lot of upside.
I'll vouch for that.
And he's actually going to be in the starting lineup for Riverside tonight.
I'll definitely vouch for him. I'll echo something I heard Devon say in an interview. He looked better in red and black. But
I know we saw him at a couple of basketball games, and the coaches would always make a point to talk to him after the game. They were hoping he'd come up here, but he ultimately decided to be a Warrior, so we're going to have to face him tonight.
In the battle for the semi-control of the Kanawha Valley. We're underway.
Look at this. I love it. Man, I love it.
Right at the goal line.
I love it. Andrew Wingrove. We haven't seen that since Cade Vargo Thomas was doing the kickoffs for Oak Hill.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I love it.
Been a while. All right.
Ethan, yeah, I was Ethan Vargo Thomas. His brother is Cade. My daughter is friends with with Cade, so yeah, I called him Cade Vargo. Ethan Vargo Thomas.
I'm sure Cade will appreciate the love.
Yeah, so we'll shout out to his brother Cade.
All right. Riverside coming out here, ball resting on the 20-yard line, first play from scrimmage of the game.
And that is going to be Tavion Woods getting the start. He came in at halftime last week for Riverside.
Tavion with a single, high snap. And they'll fall on it. And looked like that was 28, Colton Buckley, I think, making that saving tackle.
Terrible start for Riverside with the high snap, and that puts them immediately way behind.
I think that's at the 10. That's going to be a 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20, way behind the sticks here. So what a terrible start for Riverside right out of the gate.
Well, all right. Now we actually have a moving clock temporarily. All right, now the clock is moving once again. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, single back in the backfield. Snap is a lot cleaner this time. Woods will try to roll out. Ball's on the ground, and Oak Hill has it.
That was James Ludwig that came up with it, and Tavion Woods, nobody touched him as he was trying to climb up in the pocket, just flat out dropped the ball. James Ludwig came up with it, and Oak Hill's in business at the Riverside 7-yard line. And what a terrible start for the Warriors here tonight, as they put the ball on the ground on each of their first 2 plays for scrimmage.
Yeah, that could not have been worse.
No, just a nightmare start. I think if I'm the coach, I would just maybe gather the whole team on the sideline and talk to them a minute and just calm them a little bit.
Luke Endicott will take the snap. That's Kate Compton back there in the backfield with him. Endicott will hand off to Compton. Compton has the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Hill. Green start for the Red Devils.
What a great start. Cade Compton's first touchdown of the year. He takes it in from 7 yards out. And like you said, what a great start for Oak Hill, and what a nightmare start for Riverside here tonight, because they're going to have to get their bearings and get their feet under them a little bit. And that was a big hole over the left side. And over on that left side, that's Derek Sullivan and Braden Knight. And I mentioned last week, they're combined 717 pounds. So if you're going to run, those are 2 pretty good kids to run behind, and they cleared a big hole on that left side that time for Cade.
Get one more man out here for our extra point team. And we'll line it up. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and that kick is good. Oak Hill has a 7-0 lead, just 22 seconds into the football game. And we are going to take a quick break here on the River Network. We'll come back and see if Riverside has an answer. Welcome you back in here. Just 22 seconds into our football game, and Oak Hill has a 7-0 lead. I can't say I recall the Red Devils having a lead that early in the game.
No, I can't either. And that was Jagger Workman on the extra point. And you might notice that we don't have the same kid that kicks extra points that kicks off for us. So Workman takes care of the extra points, and Andrew Wingrove on the kickoffs.
And that'll be returned out to just across the 20-yard line. Chris, I'll go ahead and make a statement. If Andrew Workman kicked extra points, he'd put it in Kanawha County.
Yeah, he would. He's got a strong left leg. From what I understand, he's a heck of a soccer player, and he's lending his talent to the football team this year. And that was Vaughn Brockman, the aforementioned freshman we talked about. He brought that out past the 20. And let's see if Riverside can get their bearings under. That was just, they put the ball on the carpet the first 2 plays from scrimmage of the last drive, and ended up in an Oak Hill touchdown.
There's not too many times you can do that and expect to win the game. Here's the handoff. And looks like that's number 25, Cortez Lacey, who will dive forward and be close to first down yardage.
Yeah, and it looks like they were going to get him right around the line of scrimmage, and Lacey did a nice job of eluding a couple of guys. He ended up getting a nice little, about a 9-yard gain out of that, and he's going to put Riverside in about 2nd and 1 here, 2nd and 2. just past the 30 to 31-yard line. Nice run by Cortez Lacey that time.
Let's also highlight something you're seeing here. You don't see a whole lot of. They huddle.
Yeah,
Riverside huddle.
You don't see that as much anymore.
Snap is back. Running an option. There's an old school option. And that's a first down for Riverside.
Yeah, that's just an old school speed option that time. And you're right, Tavion Woods faked the pitch. Was able to cut back up inside over the 35, and that's going to be a Riverside first down. Ian Ballinger, who that's another kid that was pressed into service kind of quicker than what we thought, and he's getting a start at defensive end. He was in on the tackle that time.
It seems like Riverside is running what would be considered in a video game a multiple offense. They can do a lot of different things offensively.
Yeah, Brad said that they're hard to prepare for. They do a lot of different things offensively. They're running an option again.
It's a pitch this time, and that's going to be taken down near the. Yeah, we'll give him a yard or two.
So they optioned off. James Ludwig's the guy that they're optioning off there, and that time Ludwig they pitched it. Cade Compton had the initial hit, but Ludwig was able to recover quickly enough to get in on that tackle. Held it to a relatively short gain, second and 7, so a little bit better job defending that time. Hold it to a 3-yard gain.
On the school board, they're going to say 2nd and 6. I'm with you. That's 2nd and 7. And there's 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side, single back in the backfield. Snap is back. Woods will roll out to his left. He will drop to throw. That pass is caught. Really good catch on the far side.
That is a really nice catch. That's Riley Gilmore who came up with that. He showed really nice hands that time. Nice job by Woods as he got flush, rolling to his left. He kept his poise and put a nice ball out there, and Gilmore came up with it. I'm wondering if Riley Gilmore, I saw that Billy Gilmore is an assistant on the staff. Billy Gilmore was a really good tight end on those great DuPont teams in the 90s that had Randy Moss and Bobby Howard. I'm wondering if that's his son out there.
That math could work out, yeah. Here we go, 2 receivers to each side. And there's some pointing.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Oak Hill came off sides or if Riverside jumped. Oak Hill looked like they were trying to, it's going to be off sides. That's going to give Riverside a free 5 right there.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, they said that Braden Knight came across the line of scrimmage, but Cade Compton and Solomon Truman, the inside linebackers, were showing blitz that time. They were creeping up there in those A gaps as well. So let's see if Oak Hill wants to get aggressive here and start sending those backers.
So that's a free 5 for Riverside. Make it first down, 5 to go. 9:50 to go in the first quarter. Man comes in motion. They will hand off. It's a slow developing play, but they'll find the edge. And again, that is Cortez Lacey getting a couple on first down.
Yeah, you're right. It was a slow developing play. They sent motion in the back to maybe get Oak Hill's eyes moving a different direction. Then they tried to get Lacey over that left-hand side. Ian Bellinger, again, is getting the start of that defensive end, did a pretty nice job of setting his edge over there and held that to just a 2-yard gain. But it is going to be 2nd and 3 thanks to that 5-yard penalty on first down.
Snap is back. Tavion Woods will roll out to his right. He will try to pass it, and that's going to fall about a yard short, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Well, he had his man, too. Yeah, he definitely had his man out there. That was Von Brockman who snuck in over the middle, and Woods just bounced it to him, but Brockman was open over the middle. It was a nicely designed play, and it's something they might come back to later in the game because it was there.
I don't think there was anyone within 5 yards of him.
No, he was open.
Sides.
If Woods puts it on him, he can catch that, and he's got room to run, too.
3rd down and 3 here after the penalty gave Riverside a 1st and 5. Two receivers to each side, single back in the backfield for the Warriors. Snap is back. It's a little errant. Woods will try to get to the outside. He will get a first down, and he'll be shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, first of all, he did a nice job to even corral the snap. He corralled that with his left hand, just a one-handed corral of the snap. That was obviously a designed QB draw, and he was able to get around to that left side. Jagger Knox knocked him out of bounds, but not before he picked up that first down. And they have 1st and 10 now at the Oak Hill 38.
So Riverside doing a good job of answering so far after the disastrous opening drive.
Disastrous is right, and you're right. This is a nice drive after that disaster. So you're right. Riverside doing a nice job coming back here on the answer drive.
Trips to the near side, single receiver out wide. And there's another rollout to Woods' right. He's got a man, and that's going to be a penalty in all likelihood.
Yeah, he was looking for number 4 out there. That's Logan Tudor. He caught the lone Riverside TD pass last year. He was in man coverage with Z Lewis. They got their feet taken up. They're going to call interference on Z, and that's going to be another first down for the Warriors. But I'll tell you what, I noticed that Von Brockman, again, he was wide open over the middle around that 7 or 8 yard range. So Oak Hill's going to have to find Von Brockman in that intermediate range. And Riverside's in business at the Oak Hill 23 right now.
All right, here we go. And another stoppage and a whistle, or for an unknown reason.
I think it's going to be an equipment issue, and so Z's going to come out. Somebody's going to have to come in for him as they are
harping on, and that is number 15.
That's going to be Caleb Compton, who's making his first appearance for Oak Hill. He wasn't able to play last week. I don't know if he didn't have enough practices or what, but he's in there at that corner position right now.
Here's the snap. Woods will roll out again. He will be under pressure. Somehow spun out of it, but not now.
Yeah, and just everybody on the defensive line, it seemingly had a hand on him at some point. I think it was Derek Sullivan. Braden Knight ultimately brought him down. But Woods pretty quickly, as he dropped back, and I think he's pretty quickly, if he doesn't see anything, he's going to tuck it and run. He was looking to tuck that very quickly after dropping back, but yeah, good pressure by the Oak Hill front four that time.
He's not running to set up a pass. He's running to run.
He's running to run. Yeah, he was looking to run that time. So it puts him behind the sticks now at the 27.
Make it second down and 14. Three receivers out wide on the far side. Single receiver down here, and there's another flag.
That might be on Logan Tudor. Tudor might have moved it from his wide out position. They were in a 3-by-1 set, and Tudor was the lone wide out here on the right side. And I'm wondering if he got just a little jumpy. Now, I will say, on that trip side over there, Oak Hill was giving those receivers some cushion. So if Riverside wants to try a little hitch, if they want to try their screen game, it might be there because the Oak Hill defenders were giving those trip receivers over there some cushion.
And it looks like they still are, to a degree. Snap is back. Woods again rolling out to his right. He will throw this time, and that pass is going to be caught. It's Logan Tudor, and he'll get shoved out.
He takes a big hit from Solomon Truman came over from his linebacker position. But I will give Woods credit. Again, he got flushed that time, but that time wasn't looking to run. He kept his eyes downfield and found Tudor, who did a nice job of coming back to his quarterback and helping his quarterback out.
That's an underrated skill, but it's so important.
Yeah, you don't see, especially in high school sometimes. I don't know if receivers always do a great job of that, but Logan Tudor did that time. He came back and helped Woods out, gave him a target, and that makes it, third and manageable here for Riverside now inside the Oak Hill 20.
And they've chewed up a good bit of clock after having Oak Hill score fairly early in the game. He'll drop the throw once again. He's going for Tudor once again. Another foul.
Yeah, and Z was just way too physical with him that time. He's and you can be physical, but once the ball's in the air, you got to let him go. And Z was riding him to the ground even after the ball's in the air. That was a designed fade into the end zone. He was only looking for Tudor. He had man coverage out there. And actually, I think Z was in pretty good shape. He just got a little too aggressive and too physical. And unfortunately, that's going to give Riverside an automatic first down here as they move the ball inside the 10. Now they have a first and goal at the 9.
First and goal from the 9, as Chris Rader and the PA announcer said. I'll be the last one to say it. And here is the snap, maybe. Yes, now. Trying to find a number for that. Ball's on the ground, and let's see what the ruling is.
They're going to say he was down. The referee came in very quickly and signaled that he was down. That was Zion Christian, who's getting his first carry of the game. He's a 5'11", 243-pound junior. He tried to bounce out to the outside, and Carson Treadway came up and put a nice hit on him. and wouldn't allow him out there. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and goal for Riverside. Because that time they brought Gilmore in and had him at a tight end at the end of the line on the left there. So they've been going with the 4 wideout set. They brought Gilmore in as a tight end that time and showed a little different formation. And Gilmore's lined up at kind of an H-back position now here on the right.
And they'll hand it off. Nope, fake me. As Tavion Woods is going to try to run for it. Breaks a would-be tackle. Tries to hurdle someone. A flag comes in very late at the end of the play.
So I'm not sure what the flag is. I'm wondering, can you hurdle in high school?
I don't think you can.
That might be what the flag is. And if he hurdled him, they might get him for a penalty.
I think we've seen that a couple times throughout the years.
So again, this is where the rules change, and I'm always up on the rule changes from high school to college to the NFL. But I'm wondering if that's because Woods hurdled him, because I saw nothing else out there that would have garnered a flag.
Yeah, I think you and I did a game last year where someone made an incredible hurdle, and then they called it back, and we were kind of going, what? And then now here it is.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. We couldn't hear the ref's call, but I believe they're going to get him for hurdling the tackler there. And although it's a nice athletic move, it actually moves the ball back to the 20, and they're going to be facing a 2nd and goal from the 20 now. Woods is slippery, though. He's a good athlete at that QB position.
For those of us of a certain age, he reminds me of one Pat White.
Oh, well, that's high praise. Yes, sir. And they're going back to that 4-receiver look, and they're balancing out the 2x2 set.
Snap is back. Woods again. We'll chuck it toward the end zone, and that's going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good effort by Caleb Compton out there. He caught the ball, and he was trying his best to keep his feet in.
He was, and he almost did.
That was really good field awareness from Caleb Compton, who hasn't played a down yet and showed really good field awareness tonight. You could tell he was trying to keep his toes in, and he did a nice job of coming down with it. I think Riverside's going to take a timeout here, Lucas, and talk about it.
They are, and I'll tell you what, we will too with 5:48 to go here in the first quarter. Riverside on the move, trying to answer Oak Hill. Welcome back in here to Oak Hill High School football on the New River Network. Lucas Berry, Chris Rader here with you. Riverside is facing what might be a very important play in the football game in the long run. Third and goal from the 20. After already giving up a touchdown 22 seconds into the ball game. Snap is back. Tavion Woods will throw. He's got a man on the outside. That's Ron Brockman. He got hit.
Really nice job by Carson Treadway. Oak Hill just dropped back in the zone, and he hit Brockman out in the flat, but Carson came up and put a really nice hit on him. It's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 16. I don't know what Riverside's kicking game is. It looks like the coach, Keith Huffman's going to keep his offense on the field, though, here.
And say what you will, there's not a whole lot of plays to go for 4th and 16.
4th and goal from the 16 is not where you want it. 4th and goal sounds great, but not from
the 16.
Not from the 16, you're right.
All right, here we go. Snap is back. Woods will roll out to his right. He'll be intercepted. And look at the burst of speed out there on the far side. Could not see who picked that ball off.
I believe that was Owen Gross from his free safety position. And he did what you're supposed to do in that free safety position. He's playing center field, reading the quarterback's eyes, and when Woods let that go. Gross did a great job. That was a really nice break on the ball. He broke on the ball, stepped right in front of the receiver. A nice return from the goal line all the way up to the 37. So nice job by Owen Gross from a safety position that time. Already the second turnover of the game for Riverside.
And that's going to set Oak Hill up with fantastic field position after an interception. And Luke Endicott will bring his... No, that's... Snap is back. It's a handoff.
And again, another big hole for Cade Compton, as that's Oak Hill's just their second play they've ran from scrimmage, but Cade Compton very close to a first down. Now, Lucas, last year, Riverside, initially Oak Hill was running the ball well, and Riverside went to a five-man front, started blitzing both linebackers, and they completely shut down Oak Hill's run game when they did that. Right now, they're still showing a four-man front. But if Oak Hill continues to get yards in chunks like that, they might go back to that five-man front.
Second and a very short one. Luke Endicott will take the snap. He'll hand off to Cade Compton once again. He'll have the first down out near the 50.
Yeah, nice job by Cade. He stepped out of the tackle, was able to cross the sticks. I'm trying to see who got that tackle for Riverside, and I couldn't quite make out that number. That might have been Zach Kreider, a 5'6", 660-pound junior who got that tackle. Relatively short game, but it did, like you said, it moved the sticks for Oak Hill.
And the lights just went out.
Yeah, we're going to need those before too long, too.
Yeah,
it's getting darker quicker.
And it's not exactly a sunny day either. There we go. And the cut will drop to throw. Has a man. That pass is caught!
Unbelievable.
Z. Lewis, touchdown Oak Hill, but it might be coming back. There's a flag down.
I'm wondering if that's going to be defensive pass interference, though. That might stand.
It might. We'll find out.
My guess is that's going to be defensive pass interference and a highlight play for Oak Hill off the circus ricochet.
That is a tip drill is what that is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a tip drill that you do in practice during the summer. And Z. Lewis with great concentration as the ball ricocheted off a couple of players. I think that's going to stand. I think that's going to be a defensive pass interference that Oak Hill will decline. Absolutely, yeah. What a great play for Oak Hill. Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, when Luke Endicott has dropped back to throw a deep, he's found his man.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was actually getting ready to be a little critical because they ran two verticals and they were actually the receivers were very close to each other, and I'm not a big fan of that. So it looks like that was tips. That's going to be
no good.
No good. I'll keep it at 13-0. But that time having two receivers in the same area worked out for Oak Hill. In general, I'm not a big fan of having receivers that close to each other in a pattern. But it worked out on the tip drill that time. I don't think it's how you draw it up.
No, that's not, but you'll sure take it.
Yeah, you'll take it.
So that leaves our score. Oak Hill 13, Riverside. Nothing, 3:41 to go in our opening quarter of play. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just kind of point this out. I'm looking at my little note sheet I make for every game. This is actually the second time ever Oak and Riverside have ever played. Last year was the very first time they played. And I'm looking at this. Riverside, they lost to Greenbrier East last week, 39-27. Then they are here, obviously, tonight. Then they'll go have St. Albans here. And then Oak Hill goes on the road for 3 weeks in a bye. It's at Princeton, at Shady, at Greenbrier East, a bye, and then Capital. So once we get done out of here, we ain't going to be seeing the Red Devils in Oak Hill for a while. Yeah,
they're going to be hitting the road, start up the bus. Yeah, Oak Hill will kind of have a quirk in the schedule where they're going to be on the road 3 straight weeks, but you're right.
Okay, Riverside's on the road for 4 straight weeks.
Yeah,
They go to Parkersburg, Spring Valley, Woodrow, and South Charleston.
Yeah, that's a tough stretch right there if you're on the road 4 straight weeks.
And we had a chance to see Spring Valley on this field a couple weeks ago. That's a good football team.
Yeah, they are. It also means if you're on the road early in the year that your fans, when you get the home games, they're getting in colder weather.
Yeah.
So they're going to be setting out in some cooler weather when they do get to see their team play.
For Oak Hill, that means you turn on the New River Network. That's what it means.
that's right. Not sure what the conference is out here before the kickoff. You got 4 officials all out here talking. I'm not sure what that's all about.
I'm not either, but I saw the referee kind of before the extra point kind of looking. You remember the, they're asking Devon something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You remember the play with LeBron in the finals with J.R. Smith forgot they had called a timeout. We didn't have it.
Yes.
The meme with LeBron going, "What's this?" And it looked like that's what the official was doing towards another one of his colleagues over there. So I don't know what they're trying to figure out, but they're clearly confused by it.
And Lucas, Riverside actually had a really nice drive going. It ended in the interception down there, but they had a really good drive. Another great kick, and it's going to be Brockman bringing it out inside the 5 again.
And he's going to scoot out to about the 30-yard line. Still going. He's going to get spun around about the 33-yard line, but that's a heck of a return.
Well, he's showing some of that athleticism, and that's why you had coaches from multiple high schools wanting him to come to their high school, and he shows a little bit of that right there. That's a really nice return out past the 30. And I didn't see Vaughn play in middle school, but all I heard was good things about him. And coaches say he's a heck of a basketball player too. But he showed a lot of athleticism right there.
I watched him play a basketball game. We did the middle school basketball championships down at Valley last year. He was in control of that floor. It really was fun to watch. All right, back to football and high school levels. Riverside will take the snap. Woods will fake a handoff. He'll keep it himself, and he'll get to about the 35 before he'll get spun down there.
Well, they showed like they're going to run speed option again, but I think that was a design QB draw up the middle. But they showed a speed option look to it, and Woods kept it up the middle, but not a lot going in there. Has a nice job. As it looks like we've got Jeremy Lewis, who's checked in at one of those defensive tackle positions for Derek Sullivan. So they're giving Big Derek a blow, and Jeremy's in on that defensive line right now. He did a nice job that time holding that to a minimal gain.
Snap is back. Screen out to Brockman. He will catch it. He'll get to the 35. And flags come in and nearly hit each other on the way in. And we'll see what that's all about.
I think that's going to be a hold out there on number 7. And that's going to be John Battle. He was locked up, I think, with Z. Lewis out there. It was a really physical battle. But John Battle, he had a lot of jersey in his hand. I think they're going to bring that back. And that was actually a nice little play for Riverside. They got about 8 yards out of that. Now, and again, Brockman showing his athleticism. That was a nice little one-handed catch out there in the flat. That ball was a little over his head. But unfortunately, because of the penalty, it's going to bring it back because of the hold on Battle. So again, Riverside finds themselves behind the sticks here.
Because it seems like there's a pattern forming. We didn't have a whole lot of penalties last week. We've got them in spades this week. And the game is shaping up to be just about as interesting and chaotic in some ways as it was last year.
Yeah, 2nd and 14 now for Riverside at their own 29. Again, they're showing that 3-by-1 set with the lone receiver out here to the right.
Snap is back. Woods will hand it off, and that's a nice tackle. Looked like I think I saw Solomon Truman in there.
Yeah, both linebackers, Solomon Truman and Cade Compton, did what inside linebackers are supposed to do. They filled the hole, held that to a short gain. That puts Riverside in a 3rd and long. And at this point, I mentioned in the pregame Malachi Hope. We haven't seen him, so I don't know if he's hurt. But I know Brad said he didn't play a ton. They didn't see him a ton on film last week. So Malachi Hope, who's a really good running back for the Warriors, hasn't made an appearance, and at this point, I'm thinking he's not going to.
I'd be hard-pressed to argue that at this point. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Snap is back. Woods will drop to throw. He'll roll out to his right, throw across his body out to the 40, and that's going to be 4th down and think about it for Riverside.
Well, we got a late flag coming in. Let's see what this is. Let's see if Oak Hill gave him a free one.
They got a lot of talking and shoving.
That came in late. I frankly didn't see what it would have been. Again, as Woods, I think was that Von Brockman who caught that again?
I could not see it.
I believe Von Brockman pulled that in.
That was a really good throw from Woods across his body, too.
Yeah, again, Woods, showing his poise back there. He was getting flush, but was able to find a man as he scrambled out. And I think that's going to give Riverside – they're going to call that a horse collar tackle. So I didn't see that in real time. The officials did. That's a big call.
It's a huge call. It
because
the field
instead of fourth down in your own territory, that moves it out to the Oak Hill 44, and Riverside's in business as the sticks move.
That's a get out of jail free card, and you flip the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Minute 25 to go on a rolling first quarter
So
clock.
now they have Gilmore at that H back here on the left side.
Woods drops the throw. We'll pitch it out, and that's a good run. He ran about 8 yards to gain 2.
So Gilmore actually did a nice job. He got a nice hook block over there on the defensive end. James Ludwig. But Jeremy Lewis, who's in there spelling Derek Sullivan right now, was able to scrape over from his defensive tackle position and did a nice job, because initially when I saw Gilmore get that hook block, I thought that might go somewhere, but nice job by Lewis to hold that to just a 2-yard gain as they tried to get Christian out there on the edge.
Second down and 8, 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Snap is back. It's a late handoff and going absolutely nowhere, losing about 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, Zion Christian would have been better served just to keep his shoulders square and get as much as he could out of that. He tried to bounce it out, and when he did, he bounced it right into the waiting arms of James Ludwig out at that left defensive end position. James looks like he's a little shaken up, though. And I think he's going to come out, and LaShawn Nichols, his number 77, is going to check in for James to give him a blow.
And with 5 seconds left, that is the end of the first quarter as Riverside opts not to try to hustle and get a playoff. And we're through one. 13-0. Oak Hill has a lead. We shall return for the second quarter after this on the New River Network. We're back here on the New River Network. Lucas Berry, Chris Rader here with you as we wait for the second quarter to begin. We'd like to give a very special shout out to the furthest away viewer, I would almost guarantee. Boss, Mr. Darren McGuffin, watching live from Scotland. Making the trip overseas. Darren, we hope we're not messing this thing up too bad. That's what you get for leaving me in charge.
No kilt pictures, man.
Woods will try to find his way out of it. He does. He'll get a couple yards, and he'll get to about the 35. Tony's losing this yet again.
Well, he'll actually get about 10 yards that time. And again, Woods showing his athleticism, climbed the pocket, and kept his eyes downfield as long as he could before he decided to finally tuck it. And he got, he got solid yardage that time. It's going to bring up a 4th and short, and they'll surely go for it here on the Oak Hill 35.
I don't see how you don't, not just because of the position on the field, but because you're already down 2 scores.
And that might be Riverside's best offense tonight, is just to have Woods give him run-pass options, have him drop back, and if he doesn't like anything, just tuck it and run, because he's a good athlete.
Raiders saw this a college game on tonight. He said, we need to get the RPO in here. And that's a playing quarterback sneak that's going to go nowhere, and a flag
They tried
is down.
to tush-push, and you can't do that in high school. And I think that's what the flag is going to be, as I believe that was I think that was Zion Christian that came in at that running back position and tried to push him ahead, but you cannot do that in high school, and I think they're going to bring that back.
I think Heath Huffman, the head coach at Riverside, saw a little bit too much of that Eagles-Cowboys game last night.
Yeah, you can do that in the NFL. You can do that in college. You cannot do it in high school. And when I saw them line up under center, I was wondering if they were going to try to do that, and sure enough, that's what they did, and that's going to actually set them back. But that will bring up a 4th and just over 5 now, but that'll change the play call for sure.
We missed the actual play call. I'd love to know what that actually penalty is. Was that an illegal formation?
No, you can't push him.
Yeah.
I don't know what the verbiage is, but I don't know what the verbiage is, but yeah.
Woods will drop to throw. He will be flushed out of the pocket, and he'll get hit as he throws, and that ball's on the ground. And Oak Hill has it.
Another turnover. Jeremy Lewis comes up with that one. I didn't see who made the hit. I'm sorry. Jeremy Lewis came up with the turnover. I was looking downfield, and Woods had a man wide open down here at the sideline, and I'm not sure why he didn't pull the trigger and just throw it. And he didn't, but he didn't. He hesitated, and when he finally did decide to throw it, took a big hit, and Jeremy Lewis comes in off the bench and makes a nice play for Oak Hill with the fumble recovery. Sorry I didn't catch who got the hit on Woods. That was a big play for Oak Hill. And 3 turnovers already. 3 turnovers on 3 possessions for Riverside. That's
about the worst way you can start the game.
It's not a winning formula.
No, it's not. Luke Endicott now back in the shotgun. He will handle it himself. Endicott will be tripped up at about the 45.
Nice job that time by Brockman coming up. But Luke Endicott, and I'm going to assume that was a true zone read that time, made a nice decision to pull that and keep it himself. Got solid yardage. I thought he was going to get more out of that, but Brockman came up and made a really nice play and cut his legs out from under him before he could get more than 3 yards. So 2nd and 7 here for Oak Hill. As again, Riverside's still staying in that 4-man front. I'm anxious to see if at some point they go to a 5-man front and give Oak Hill a little different look here.
3 receivers, 2 on near side. It's a screen out to Z. Z will catch it, get to the 45, 50. And he'll be swung forward to another 45. First down for Oak Hill.
Yeah, nice little screen pass out here to the right flat. Z got some good blocking out there from Owen Gross, and trying to see who else was out there. Maybe Carson Treadway, wasn't sure, but he got some good blocking from his fellow receivers out there and got a nice little gain out of that.
When did Oak Hill start adopting the WVU first down cheer? I just heard that for the first time ever doing this.
And Tyler Colasino, who got a few snaps on defense last, and they're going to reset the clock to 10-17. Tyler Colasino is checked in for Oak Hill. He's a 5'9", 135-pound junior. He got some snaps on defense last week. Now he's in there at one of those wide-out positions. He's going to be the slot closest to us on the left-hand side in this 3-by-1 set.
Endicott will again hand off, and that's going to be Carson Treadway spinning for about a yard gain, maybe.
And that was Riley Gilmore who did a nice job coming up. As again, Riverside was showing blitz with those linebackers. Gilmore's going to hobble off the field.
Colasino comes off the field. His job done for now.
And so Kill's got a 2nd and long here from the Riverside 45. And they're showing that 2-back look here, Lucas. We saw some of this last week. Oh, nice tackle. Wow, it looks like he was ready to come through there. That was Tavion Woods, the quarterback, and, man, he saved a big gain. So that's a little different look. Last year when Oak Hill would go 2-back, they would have a back in the backfield, and then really Tyler Ashmore would line up at an H-back. This year when they're going 2-back, it's more of a pistol look with the tailback directly behind the quarterback. And then you have another, he's kind of in a fullback position. That's as close to an I formation as you can get when you're in the shotgun.
Yeah.
So that's a little different look than what Oak Hill went last year when they showed 2-back. Now this is, when they're in this formation, Lucas, this is usually their jet sweep series. And here they come, here comes Carson. but they
The
fake it.
handoff. Kay Compton will get a couple. And now you've got third down and
And
manageable.
another
here. Fourth
late
down.
flag coming in, and I'm not sure. Devon Marion is pleading his case, but that was a really late flag
I didn't even see it.
that came in from the side judge closest to us, and I'm not sure what he saw, but
I guess we'll find out.
yeah, I guess we will find out. But they showed jet sweep action, but then they handed it to Cade on a counter in the interior of the line. Now, I don't know what happened here. We're going to have to see. And the referee is telling Devon Marion he's sending Z Lewis out. And Devon Marion and the referee are having a very heated conversation. That's a very heated conversation. I could hear him from up here say, I'm sending him out. So the referee benched Z Lewis. Now, I don't know what that was against Riverside. I didn't catch the call. It was a personal foul after the play.
And he said that with a passion.
Yeah, the ref's fired up. He had a very animated conversation with Devon Marion. He sent Z Lewis out of the game, so he's fired up about something.
Snap is back. Luke Endicott tries to move on. He's got a man downfield, and he's going to overthrow him.
Yeah, he had that 3-by-1 set again. He had Carson Treadway out there by himself in man coverage. And it looked like to me there might have been a little miscommunication. I think Luke thought Carson was going to take that to the end zone. And Carson looked like to me he was trying to break the route off. So I think there was a little miscommunication that time between Luke and his receiver. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 here at the 28.
There may be games tonight that have more attention on them, but there's not a game with more intrigue and weirdness than this one. Luke Endicott will have the play blown dead as the flag comes in right at the beginning of the snap.
And I think it's going to be a false start. That's what the ref's indicating down there. So that'll move Oak Hill back. That'll make it a 2nd and 15. I'm not sure who that was on. They called that on Owen Gross, one of the wideouts out here. I hate to see false starts on wideouts. I hate to see false starts, period, but especially on wideouts.
Yeah, it's just...
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 15 for Oak Hill. As Riverside does not have a safety in the middle of the field. So the middle of the field
is wide open.
Is open for Oak Hill because they do not have a deep safety back right now.
Luke Endicott will see if he can exploit that. He's got a man downfield. A little holding, and the flags come in.
Yeah, they tried to run a post pattern to exploit that empty space in the middle of the field. That was Z Lewis, and he was interfered with right down there at the goal line. And I believe that was number 5, Cedric Cotney, a freshman who interfered with him. And that'll move the sticks, and it'll give, after a 2nd and 15, that'll
give Oak Hill a fresh set of downs to work with.
Yeah, fresh set of downs, so they move that down to the 18-yard line now.
How many penalties should we have, Chris? We're over 10, aren't we, probably?
We've had a lot of flags. Yeah, we've had a lot of flags, much more than last week already.
Man comes in motion across the formation. Solomon Truman will handle the handoff, and he'll get to about the 15.
Another nice tackle that time by Tavion Woods. He's the quarterback, but he's going 2 ways here tonight for Riverside. Nice little ankle tackle. Held Solomon to a relatively short gain that time. They sent Antoine in motion across the formation. It looked like to me that somebody was going across the formation with him. That's usually an indicator that it's man coverage if somebody's following him across the formation. So if that gives Luke a pre-snap read and the coaches a pre-snap read, we'll see if Oak Hill wants to take advantage of that.
Again, 3 receivers, 2 on our near side. 1 up top. And another handoff. Solomon Truman.
Oh, another
the flag down.
comes
He's in the end zone. We'll see if this stands.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it'll stand or not. Again, that looked like the back judge throwing that from the end zone. He saw something in the middle of the field, and you always have to wonder if he saw a hold. So let's see if this stands or not. And Braden Knight looks like he's perplexed. So I'm thinking this is going to come back. As Solomon Truman made a nice cut over the left-hand side. And again,
the referee's over here shoving players back.
The head referee here in the white hat is really trying to get control. He's not putting up with it tonight. I guess there's a lot of chirping on the field right now, and he's not having it. Yeah, they got Braden Knight, the left tackle. I didn't see it, but that may explain why Solomon had a lot of room over there as he cut it over the left-hand side.
It certainly didn't hurt.
Back judge threw it from the end zone, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and about 11 here from the 19-yard line.
Endicott takes the snap. He will throw it out to Z Lewis. Z will get out near the 10, and that'll be 3rd down and 1.
But, I mentioned this last week, and I think that was something that was missing out of the Oak Hill passing game last year was those intermediate routes. We saw Luke hit one of those last week, and I said it last week, I'll say it again. I think that's the meat and potatoes of a good passing game. You can't just have screens. You can't just have bombs. You got to have something out there in that 8 to 15-yard range, and he hit him that time. It puts Oak Hill in a 3rd and short down here at the 10-yard line.
We saw Nicholas County have guys that went now 8-15, sat down, and got themselves a chunk yardage. Endicott again will drop to throw. That pass is going to be caught. Trying to spin out of it. I think that's Z on the far side. Another flag comes in from the head referee.
Yeah, the referee threw the flag that time. Again, I didn't see as he hit Z out in the flat. Riverside had that defended pretty well. Z was trying his best to make something out of nothing, but Riverside did a nice job of shutting that down. But again, we had another flag come in, so we'll see what the call is. But
that has to be like 3 of the last 4 plays have been a flag.
A lot of flags here tonight, that's for sure.
Well, I'll be.
So I guess he thought initially he was going to call a block in the back. He waved it off and all that. So that actually, Z did get a 1st down out of that. So it was just a 3rd and short, and although it didn't get much, Z was able to navigate his way through some Warrior defenders and get a 1st down here. And it looks like that ball spotted at the 6, Lucas.
1st and goal here from the 6 for the Red Devils. Endicott will take the snap. He will hand it off. And that is a touchdown, Oak Hill.
Carson Treadway, he got a block out there from his running back, Solomon Truman. And another flag comes in. I believe that's going to be after the play. I don't think that's going to negate the touchdown. That's going to be. Looked like to me that was well after the play. But Oak Hill showing that twin bunch set to either side, and when they get in that, I call that their jet sweep series. They ran that time to Carson. He picked up a nice block out there from Solomon Truman, was able to outrace the Warrior defenders to the pile line, but let's see what the call was. I think that's got to be some kind of dead ball personal foul. And the refs are trying their best to get a hold of this game and get control of it.
Now, granted, we can't tell what's going on down there, but it doesn't seem like that they're in danger of losing control, at least to me.
So Oak Hill will have to back up on the kickoff, but the touchdown stands. Carson Treadway with his 2nd touchdown of the year, and Oak Hill is threatening to put this one away early, Lucas.
19-0 as of now. And that kick is up. That kick is good. It's 20-0. Oak Hill has the lead over Riverside with 6:14 to go in the first half. Let's pause for a second. We'll come back and finish this half up on the New River Network. We welcome you back into the New River Network's coverage of Oak Hill High School football. The Red Devils find themselves up 20-0 with 6:14 to go in the first half against Riverside. And Chris, for Riverside, I guess the goal of this drive would be to finish it with a kick.
You're exactly right. It was 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for Riverside here tonight, and that's what staked Oak Hill to this 20-0. This is unusual because one of the comments I've made to people over the last couple of years is Oak Hill plays everybody close.
Yeah.
Every game seems like it's a close game, and so it's unusual to see Oak Hill with a 20-0 lead here midway through the second quarter. Unusual but nice.
We'll take it. Yeah. We'll take it. And here's Andrew Wingrove once again, a little shorter than previous, but it's going to be returned, I think, by Von Brockman. I think, yes. Brockman will get to the 25. He'll spin out near the 30, and he got hit hard by that one. Let's see, 52.
That was Jaden Lewis. Nice job on special teams. Come over and lay a good hit on Von Brockman. You're right.
Now, I'll say this. We'll take the 20-0 lead, but I really do want to be just – Riverside has had their struggles. They got talent over there. That quarterback is good, and Von Brockman's good. They've got players.
They've got some playmakers over there, and they've made plays at different times, but, the turnovers have killed them. They just haven't been able to string together a consistent drive yet. As this time we're going to see Jaden Lewis staying in on defense, and they're going to give Braden Knight a blow, so they're trying to rotate their defensive lineman and give their big guy Sullivan and Knight a blow here on defense. And that's going to be a nice job by Derek Sullivan, and who else came in there? Solomon Truman from his linebacker position. They threw that for a loss. So if you're watching at home, it can get kind of confusing. We have a 51 Jeremy Lewis. We have a 52 Jaden Lewis. They're brothers. Then we have a 13 Cade Compton and a 15 Caleb Compton, and they're cousins. So if you're getting confused, I can understand. That's a lot to keep up with. But right now we have Jeremy in there, number 52 at the defensive tackle position. Cade's playing linebacker. I don't think Caleb's in there right now, but he got some snaps earlier.
Snap is back is a pass, and that's about 10 yards over the head of Von Brockman.
Yeah, he was trying to hit. I think there might have been a little miscommunication. He threw it deep. I'm not sure Vaughn was looking to go that deep. Looked like he might have been trying to break off his route. Regardless, Z. Lewis was with him step for step, and Riverside finds themselves in a bad way here, third and long.
3rd and 14 on the scoreboard, and that's going to be snapped from the 27-yard line. From the 27-yard line to gain us the 41. With 5:20 to go in the first half. That ball's on the ground as Woods will take it. He'll just chuck it deep, and that pass is caught!
Wow. That was Logan Tudor. And, sometimes when you have bad snaps like that, it throws off the timing, but also throws off the defense's timing a little bit too. But again, I'll give Woods credit. He didn't panic. He gets the bad snap off the carpet, keeps his composure, and finds Logan Tudor. And that's a big play for Riverside because it looked like they're going to have to punt it back to Oak Hill. Now they're in business in the Oak Hill territory.
Woods will again roll out to his left, and a flag comes down very late. For about the millionth time this half.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a false. So anytime you see that blow the play dead, you have to think that's a false start a lot of times. But again, that's been the story of the game for Riverside. They have a nice play, but they can't get out of their own way. They follow up a nice long pass play with a penalty that puts them right behind the sticks, and they have to overcome that again. First and 15 at Oak Hill, 48-yard line.
Davion Woods will drop the throw, and that's incomplete.
Again, nice job out there. That was Caleb Compton, who I mentioned earlier. He's getting his first action of the year. He wasn't able to play last week, and he did a nice job over there at that far corner position. And it looks like Oak Hill was playing a zone to me. He dropped back to his part of the zone and then let the receiver get behind him. He comes out of the game, but he's done a nice job here for Oak Hill in his first action of the year.
That ball rests on the 48-yard line. It's 2nd and 15. Snap is back. Woods will drop the throw once again. That pass is caught. Looked like that was John Battle out there on the edge.
Yeah, and you're right. And that time, because the last couple plays, Riverside tried to go downfield, and Oak Hill, they're dropping back in that zone, and they're just taking that away. So that time they went to a more intermediate route. Instead of Battle going down the field, he sat down in that zone. Woods put a nice ball out there on him, and that gives Riverside, a 3rd and medium here and a chance to keep the drive alive.
2 down territory, one would almost assume at this point.
Yeah, definitely. They inside the 40 and down 3 scores, no doubt.
Snap is back. Woods will sneak out. I think he got the first down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really close. I think you're right.
Nope, they're going to say he's like a half-inch short.
Well, the last time they were in 4th and short, they tried the tush push, and they got 5 yards for their trouble, so hopefully they'll know better than to try to push him in. But I love a QB sneak here, but you can't have the running back pushing him from behind.
I really thought he got that.
Yeah, it was really close. I'm impressed with Woods. He's a really slippery athlete. He's a good athlete out there. He's made some nice runs, but he's also made some nice throws. He keeps his poise when things break down. So he gives them a chance to be successful. They can't get out of their own way, though. Well, here we go.
Here we go. Well, it's either there's going to be 5 yards. Just the question is which way.
So they said number 53 was lined up in the neutral zone.
53 Riverside.
That's going to be Xander Weiss. He's a 6 foot, 253-pound junior. And Lucas, the best way to keep from doing that is put your hand behind the ball and put your head behind your hand. And you'll never be offsides.
I have never heard that said in anyone.
Well, there you go.
But there you go. I learned something tonight. 4th down and 6. 4th down and 5. Kind of another whistle.
I think we're going to have a timeout here for Riverside.
I think we are, yeah, and you can't blame them.
Yeah.
I can't anyway, no. 4:07 to go here in the first half. We will take a quick break and come back and see what comes of this. Stay with us on the New River Network. Welcome back here. Lucas Berry, Chris Radio with you on the New River Network. It's 4th and 5 with 4:07 to go in the first half. Riverside down 3 scores to Oak Hill. And Chris, this feels like a gotta-have-it play for Riverside if there ever was one.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, they had a 4th and short, and they cost themselves 5 yards. And again, they just cannot get out of their own way here tonight.
Snap is back. Woods will roll out to his left. He'll look to throw, and that pass is caught, but short of the line to gain. Oak Hill should take over.
Yeah, Brockman caught it over the middle, but Carson Treadway was there to meet him, and you're right, Oak Hill's going to take over. And they're in really good position here with 3:59 left, up 20-0. Lucas, can I give a quick shout-out?
Yes, sir.
An old friend of mine, Ron White, is watching us. I've known Ron White my whole life. friends with his son, Brian. Brian was an all-state catcher up here in Oak Hill, so got word that Ron was watching us, and he's a good guy. So, Ron, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while, but hope everything's good with you.
And on the topic of shout-outs to lady, y'all let's give a shout-out to your daughter for her success at the state golf tournament.
Yeah, man. If I had more time, I'd brag on her. She did really well.
We can make time for that. So that's
yeah.
an accept. We can make time. Here is the handoff. And didn't quite see who that was.
That was Solomon Truman,
Hey.
and he zigzagged his way through there and got a nice little pickup that time. That's going to be a solid, let's say 6 yards, somewhere along that line. It's a nice run that time from Solomon. 7 yards, it'll make it a 2nd and 3. And if it's not already out of hand, boy, a score here would really put Riverside in a bad position. They're staying in that 4-man front. They never went to that 5-man front, which served them well last year.
Another flag comes in on the far side.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Yep. Sometimes you feel like the officials are going, well, I don't have anywhere else to be.
So, Lucas, this is nothing else than an interesting tidbit. So this is the second straight opponent we've played that's breaking in a first-year head coach, Heath Huffman, in his first year. We're going to keep that streak going next week when we play Princeton. So our first 3 opponents all breaking in first-year head coaches.
I thought Huffman was there last year.
Nah, he might have been as an assistant, but this is his first year as the head coach.
Right. Well, that game at Princeton next week. Whew.
Yeah.
They got dudes down there.
Yes, they do.
Snap is back. Luke Endicott will take the snap. Another flag comes in on the far side. As Endicott's going to get tripped up about the 45. We'll see what this is all about.
Yeah, I had nothing going downfield. I was looking downfield with him. I didn't see a lot going. Riverside had pretty good coverage down there. I think Luke did the smart thing just to tuck it and get what he could out of it. But again, we got more laundry on the field. We'll see what this is. So we saw an illegal formation for Oak Hill last week, too. It was at a key point in the game where Z. Lewis went out for a pass and somebody was actually lined up outside him on the line of scrimmage. So that's another formation error for Oak Hill. So that's something, even though the score's in your favor, that's something that you can work on in the week of practice and make it be a teaching point, because you got to get lined up right to have a successful play.
Snap is back. Endicott will drop to throw. He's got all kinds of time. He's got a man downfield. That pass is just incomplete, and I do mean just. He overthrew Owen Gross out there. There's another flag comes in very late behind the play.
Well, he got really good protection. He had a really clean pocket. Maybe there was a reason for that. Maybe that's what the flag's all about. I thought Luke had a really clean pocket, had Gross on a post pattern, and just overthrew him. I think Luke throws a really good ball, though.
It's pretty to watch.
And that was just off of Owen's hands, but it was there. But this might be – they might push him back anyway. I was impressed with the pass protection that time, and I was impressed that Luke kind of stepped up in the pocket, too. He's got good – so they got Braden Knight. They're going to decline that, and that's going to bring up a fourth down here for Oak Hill. Now, last week what they would do is they would show an offensive set, and then they would quick kick, and I think that's what they're going to do here with Luke Endicott.
Almost certainly based on where he's at now.
He got some good rolls last week. Let's see if he can get another one here. Oh, that went straight out.
Send that right into the sideline.
Luke Endicott taking a page out of my golf game as he shanked that one out of bounds.
So who would win if you all went and played 18, you or your daughter?
I think she might get me. And the thing is, if I can brag on her a minute, she just started playing about a month ago.
Wow.
And she went to the state golf tournament, and she was in the 9-hole group. That's more the beginner group. But out of 45 girls, she finished 6th, man. And she just picked up clubs about a month ago. She impressed me. I was proud of her.
We couldn't go through this game without giving you a chance to brag.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate that. So Riverside now with their best field position of the night, when they take over a drive, 1st and 10 here at their own 40. Let's see if they can get something going here with 2:36 before halftime, Lucas.
And they need it in the worst way possible. Man comes in motion out of the backfield. It's a screen out to him. Can't see who that is.
That's a big hit.
What a hit that was. Wow. That's number 25, Cortez Lacey, who got drilled on that one.
That was Solomon Truman laying the wood, and they both kind of went backwards after it, so they need to tap each other on the helmet. They should have some respect for each other. That was a big hit. Nice little swing pass. That was a good game for Riverside. Here we go, another flag. That's going to be a sideline warning, and that's going to move the ball down the field. And I'm with you, man. I mean, I think we got to be heading toward a record on penalties. I haven't been counting,
we're really
but
close.
Gosh, if I rewatch it, I might count the penalties. Okay, and they didn't actually move it. That was just a warning, so they didn't actually penalize them.
Snap is back. Woods will roll out to his left, go downfield once again, and it's incomplete.
And I think we might have a flag back here again. That's a shock to everybody. And I was joking that last year this game took forever. I mean, we might be heading toward another 3-hour
I think we might.
Marathon again with all these penalties.
I think we might. What time is it now? It's already 8 o'clock. I'm not saying that wasn't the case.
That's going to be on Cortez Lacey, the running back. They got him for a block below the waist. And
I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but you never hear that called anymore.
No, you don't see that called as much. But that's a big one. That pushes them way back now.
.205 to go here for Riverside. It's 2nd and 16 for them. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Line to gain this to 50. Lacey got motioned out, and he's going to go down.
That was James Ludwig.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, man, it was just a speed rush. He beat the right tackle on the outside. Ludwig led him in sacks last year. I think he had 7.5 last year. I think that's his first one this year, but he got a really good jump off the line of scrimmage, and he just beat the right tackle off the edge, came right around him, and was able to wrap up the quarterback for a big sack. 3rd and 22 here.
And not many plays in that book
for the
3rd
Warriors.
and 22.
Is Oak Hill now with 2 safeties back. They don't always go 2 safeties. They usually go 1 safety. It's a 2 safety look here. You're playing a shell.
Woods rolling out to his, and he got
back
sacked
to
again.
back. How about James Ludwig with back-to-back sacks?
He's making up for lost time from last week.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. So great job, great series from James Ludwig that time. Back-to-back sacks.
Now we're going to find out what Riverside's punt game looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, strangely enough, they're down 20-0, but we haven't seen them punt yet because every time they've turned it over.
Timeout called here, I would presume, by Oak Hill. But I don't actually know.
Yeah, Devon Marion, he might want to stop the clock to keep his foot on the gas here.
Minute 12 to go here. Remind you that you can stick with us for halftime. You can watch the Oak Hill High School, and I think Riverside's band's also here as well, so we can see some performances from them. And I reiterate what I've said a million times on the Urban Network: you can't have a high school football game without a band. Can't do it.
Yeah, band and cheerleaders, that's what makes high school football games. Absolutely, I'm with you on that. Can't replicate that atmosphere.
No.
So it's 4th and a country mile here, and Oak Hill's looking, they're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position here.
Is that their first time out? They've got 2 remaining?
Yeah, I think that is Oak Hill's first time out. I haven't seen him take one. I think Riverside's taken a couple. That's the first one Oak Hill's taken. So, Devon Marion will get good field position here. He's got a couple timeouts.
Got a quarterback
he's not the kind of guy that usually takes his foot off the gas. So I have to think he's looking to score here before the end of the half.
That ball hit the ground. It's blocked. And we'll see where they come up with it. It will be at about the 20. And there's foot on the gas, indeed, for Oak Hill.
So that was Landon Dunlap that came up with the recovery that time. I didn't see who I saw Tyler Colasino come rushing in there. I'm not sure if he's the one that got it because there was a lot of Oak Hill kids in there because it was a bad snap. It was kind of a jailbreak after that bobbled snap. I did see Tyler Colosino in there, but
1st and 10 from the 20.
that was Landon Dunlap who came up with that on the recovery.
So here's your chance as a timeout on the field. Riverside takes their 3rd and final timeout of the half with 1:07 to go in it. So again, we'll remind you, Oak Hill hits the road next week. We're going down to Princeton. Brad Mosser and those boys await the Red Devils next week.
Yeah. Not to jump ahead too much, but
No,
you're exactly right. I mean, the last couple of years, Princeton's been a tough mountain for Oak Hill to climb, but they've been a tough mountain for a lot of teams to climb. This is kind of the golden era of Princeton football, and it looks like they got a good squad. They took down Capital last week, and if there's a better quarterback wide receiver combo in the state than Chance Barker and Bradley Mosser, you'd have to show them to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at the top of the list there. So yeah, that's going to be
and they've got themselves a rivalry. They're playing Bluefield tonight, Battle of Mercer County.
Yeah, and they've gotten the best of that the last few years. Historically they haven't, but the last few years they've gotten the best of Bluefield.
Bluefield beat Graham, though. I didn't think Bluefield would beat Graham
That surprised me too. Yeah, that surprised me when Bluefield beat Graham too.
And again, Fred Simon's been coaching for forever. He knows how to do it. Endicott rolls out to his right. He's going to throw it, and that's going to be knocked down and incomplete.
So Luke was scrambling out there to his right. Owen Gross was running a corner route to the flag here. I thought he had him. I thought Gross had a step on his man. I thought Luke was going to throw it.
You could hear the coaches over here going, throw it,
I was with them. I saw Gross break open toward the pylon. I thought Luke was going to try to throw it, but he decided not to. Maybe discretion's a better part of valor. You got a 20-point lead here. Maybe he decided, look, I'm not going to make a mistake. I did think he had Gross in the end zone if he wanted to try to take a shot there.
57.3 seconds to go in the half. Plenty of time for another shot if he wants to take it. It's only 2nd down. From the 20 line, the gain is a 10. They'll bring a man in motion across the formation. Then the cop will drop to throw once again. That passes over the middle, and it's caught.
What am I going to brag on him about? Intermediate route, little crossing route. I love it. Love to see it. We're going to have another flag.
Oh, come on. I was just going to make a point about how we haven't had a flag in a while.
They got Braden Knight again. That's his
3
second.
on him.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually his 3rd penalty tonight. So he might have to run the steps in practice next week. But yeah, that's 3 on Braden Knight tonight. And that negates a nice little gain. But again, I'll give Endicott credit. I love those intermediate routes, and hit it again, and he gave Oak Hill a chance to be successful, but the penalty negated that.
So here's your conundrum. 2nd and 20 from the 30.
That's why the coaches get paid millions, man. We'll see what they draw up here.
Snap is back. Endicott has to get rid of it. He won't. That ball's on the ground, and Riverside has it.
That's a great play out there. We'll see, catch the number on that. From his defensive end position. Is that number? Gosh, I can't make out that number.
I can't either.
I want to say that's number 11.
In which case, that would be Dasani McAllister.
Yeah, that might be Dasani McAllister. If that's number 11. And Riverside's numbers aren't nearly easy to pick up as Oak Hill's numbers are.
Which is weird because you think purple on white would be fine, but for some reason it's not.
Yeah, so I don't know if I gave credit to the right kid or not on that, but whoever came off that right defensive end had a really nice pass rush, caught Luke Endicott from the backside, stripped him out, and you can't ask for more than that. You get the strip sack and the recovery.
Yeah, you really can't.
That's beautiful. That's a defensive end dream.
31.4 seconds, and it seems like the option here is just to launch it downfield and see what sticks. As Woods will roll out, he'll go down. And with no timeouts, that's going to make it really tough for Riverside to get going.
Yeah, Solomon Truman blitz from his linebacker position. Man, he was in there like a rocket. James Lugwood got caught up with Xander Weiss back there, and they were wrestling around. This might be offsetting. I guess we'll see, but they were they were on the ground wrestling around with each other. But I don't want to take away from Solomon Truman with a great play from his linebacker position. He came in like a rocket and tracked down Woods for the sack. Yeah, it's going to be offsetting. That's what I thought. So Ludwig's going to take a seat. LaShawn Nichols is going to check in. Ian Bellinger's in there on that defensive line right now as well. So, again, Oak Hill subbing pretty liberally on their defensive line, trying to give their big guys a blow. That's going to bring up 2nd and long here.
With the running clock, 10 seconds left to go in the half.
Yeah.
And I have a very strange feeling we're not going to get a playoff before this half ends.
I think you're right. Riverside might just lick their wounds and go into halftime and
I believe that's what they're
here.
going to do. Yep, that's how the half ends. 20-0 Oak Hill has the lead. We shall have the bands, and then we'll come back to the second half of this football game here on the New River Network. Stay with us, everyone.
Field Commanders, Eva Pomeroy and Jaden Mullen. Is your band ready?
You sure are beautiful.
I'm sorry.
And we welcome you back. It is halftime at Tom M. Mason Red Devil Field at John P. Dewey Stadium. That's the only time I'll say that mouthful tonight. It's 20-0 Oak Hill with the lead. Before we go any further, Chris, we want to send our best wishes to the Riverside band member who I think you saw it on halftime, kind of collapsed, had a hard time getting out the field. We hope they're okay. Never want to see anything like that happen. Certainly hope the best for them.
Yeah, a little scary. She was coming off the field. Looked like she was ready to pass out, and they wheeled her off. But the good news is, as they wheeled her off, it looked like she was to herself. She was looking around. But, I don't know if she just got too hot out there. But, yeah, it was a little scary to watch as she kind of collapsed in somebody's arms. But just adds to the intrigue. I mean, I don't know what it is. Oak Hill and Riverside, they cannot play a game with any flow. It's disjointed. There's been a million penalties. It's a tough watch sometimes. But despite all that, Oak Hill has staked themselves to a 20-0 lead. They're going to get the opening kickoff here to start the second half. And, I think the story of the first half was, turnovers and mistakes for Riverside that Oak Hill capitalized on.
I would second that. 3 drives and 3 turnovers for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Fourth drive wasn't that much better, but they did punt. And here's the thing. For Oak Hill, you got a chance. You're already up 3 scores. One more. I mean, it's probably already out of reach for Riverside in all honesty, but anything can happen. We've seen crazier things happen before. But a 4th score here would kind of really put it to bed.
Yeah, it definitely would. Yeah, and, Riverside they've had some positive moments, but they've just been singular. They haven't been able to string anything together too much, and then they take 1 step forward and they take 2 steps back. They have a turnover, they have penalties, they shoot themselves in the foot. So they've done some good things. I'm impressed with Tavion Woods. I like him as a quarterback. He's a really good athlete back there.
Von Brockman's showing off.
Von Brockman's had a couple of nice athletic plays, but Riverside just hasn't been able to put it together. And Oak Hill, to their credit, has capitalized, and they've taken advantage. And again, like we mentioned in the first half, it's something we're not used to seeing. Oak Hill is always in close games. So to see Oak Hill up 3 scores at halftime is really kind of unusual.
You almost wonder. I was going to say I almost wonder what Coach Barron's in there doing, but I guarantee I know what he's doing. He's typing about penalties and how they can't happen.
Yeah, well, exactly. And he has a lot of teaching moments, even though he's up 20-0. They can put the film on Monday, and Devon Marion's got a lot that he can talk to his team about that they have to clean up, especially before, as you mentioned, before they go to Princeton next week, which is going to be a whole different animal than what they're seeing here tonight.
You can do that here. You cannot do that next week.
You got to clean it up against Princeton, that's for sure. So he's going to have a lot to coach him up on and a lot of teaching moments, that's for sure.
And I've got good news for you, Chris. Darren, the boss, is going to bed in Scotland, so we have free reign.
Oh, man. You can't let the inmates run the asylum, Darren.
All right, we're just about set to get underway here. Oak Hill will be getting the second half kickoff, as Chris Rader said. They'll be going from right to left on your screen. That's the first time we'll see Riverside's kickoff team.
And it looks like that's going to be number 31 for Riverside. That's going to be Eli Taft doing the kicking for him. He's a junior. He's going to just squib out across the ground.
And it'll be picked up.
I think that's Z. Lewis who picks that up.
Yes, it is, and he'll get to about the 35 before being taken down.
So, yeah, Oak Hill's coming out with their offense. And, again, despite the 20-0 lead, it's been a little disjointed at times. Oak Hill's had their own penalties that they've had to deal with, so they've had trouble getting out of their own way at times, too. So, I think if you're Devon Marion, what you'd like to see is a good, clean, consistent drive without, silly mistakes yourself here.
Yeah. All right, here we go from the 35-yard line. Luke Endicott is back there. Snap is back. It's a handoff. What a play that was, and that's going to be, I think that was Cade Compton.
Cade Compton. That looked like a zone read. Endicott made the right read and handed it to Cade. And Cade had a nice hole up the middle and got a nice, looks like 10 or 11 yards right there, and that's going to move the sticks.
Another sideline warning.
Yeah, they're going to have to watch that. Because they were already warned once.
That should be a 15-yarder.
This should be a 15-yarder, so they're going to have to watch the sideline warnings.
Now, I'll make a point that just from the way it played out in real time, as we get a snap here, another handoff to Cade up the middle. He'll cross the 50 to the 45, diving ahead near first down yardage. At the end of that last play, it looked as if he was starting to try to hurdle someone. It wasn't, just the way his leg came up. I'm thinking, are they going to call that?
Yeah, don't do that again.
No.
Yeah, but again, back-to-back nice runs for Cade as he's finding something up in the middle of that line. In the middle of that line is Tyler Kincaid at center. The two guards are Derek Sullivan and Tyler Garrett, and they're doing a nice job right opening up holes right in the interior of that line. And if those are zone reads, like I think they are, Luke Endicott's making the right read to give it to Cade right there too.
And it's a handoff to Solomon Truman. He's going to go nowhere.
Yeah, nice job stocking. Again, that was Tavion Woods, who's actually, he's been in on several tackles. Besides playing a nice game at quarterback, he came in from his linebacker position that time.
Riley Gilmore was there as well.
Riley Gilmore to stop that for just a 1 yard gain. So Solomon comes off hobbling just a little bit. They hit him low. He comes off hobbling just a little bit. And Cade's going to be right back in there at that running back position as they're going with this 3-by-1 set.
10.5 to play, third quarter, 20-0 Oak Hill. Red Devils trying to extend their lead and really put this game on ice. It's a screen pass out to Z Lewis. Z will have a first down.
Well, they had the right play call. So Riverside sent a blitz that time, and they had a perfect play call. They ran a screen out there to the flat, and they didn't have a lot of men out there. Riverside didn't have a lot of men out there to stop Z, and they're lucky that only went for about 12 or 13 yards because if Z breaks one more tackle, he might be going. So a really good play call against that blitz look that time from Riverside.
Endicott swings it out to Antoine Hicks. Antoine's going to take his green shoes and have that is a really late flag on the back end of that.
So I think they're going to get a hold downfield on Carson Treadway. Treadway locked up his man and took him to the ground, and I think that's going to be on Carson. Z Lewis actually had a nice hook block out there to give Antoine the sideline, and then I saw Carson downfield, and he took his man to the ground. The ref interpreted that as a hold. I know the coaches up here are saying that's just a good physical block.
I didn't see anything.
But it looks like they're going to bring it back regardless. So, a nice play for Oak Hill on that screen pass is all for naught as they're behind the sticks now and scrimmaging from the Riverside 38-yard line.
That'll make it a 1st and 15. Snap is back. It's a handoff. That's Solomon Truman once again. Truman's going to break to the 20, inside the 15, inside the 20, near the 15.
That was a really good physical run by Solomon Truman. He had a nice hole anyway, but he ran through a couple of arm tackles. He's shown his physicality right there, and he picks up that 15 and then some. Or picked up right at, I guess he got 16, and that's going to move the sticks. Because, again, Riverside last year was able to stymie that Oak Hill ground game with a 5-man front, and they haven't went to that yet. All that looks like to me they might be in it right now.
Truman's going to take it once again. He's going to be spun down short of the 10-yard line.
And that's going to be number 11, Dasani McAllister, who's spun him down. But again,
he comes up a little limp. It looks like he's holding his hamstring/calf.
Well, it looks like he might be cramping up down there. So he's getting stretched out on the sideline by his teammate.
It is hot and humid.
It is. Cade Compton checks back in at that running back position. Nice to have a luxury of two quality running backs with Cade and Solomon to give each other a blow. So he's going to check in on this second. And what are we looking at here, Lucas? Second about 5?
I'd say that's it. Yeah, 2nd and 5. Endicott will hand off.
Better job in the interior of that line that time for Riverside to hold that to a short gain.
No, they still in that 5-man set, Chris. I wasn't paying much attention to it.
That was Jerron Tucker on the top. Yeah, it looks like to me they finally kind of slid another man and committed another man to the line of scrimmage. So I think that might have been a 5-man front. And I'm actually surprised they hadn't went to that earlier because they had a lot of success. They really shut down Oak Hill's ground game doing that. But as I'm looking right now, I mean, it looks like it's still They're bringing a blocker up, so I guess you could call that a 5-man front.
Screen pass, that's going to go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Riverside was all over that. We didn't have a blocker out there. And Riverside did a nice job of throwing that for a loss that time, actually.
There's that guy you bring in, he stays home, and he makes a play.
Yeah, Jerron Tucker, again, he made a nice play again. That's back-to-back nice plays for Jerron Tucker from what looks like maybe a defensive end position out there. So that's going to bring up a 4th down for Oak Hill. Devon Marion usually eschews field goals. Looks like he's going to do that again as he's going to go for it here on 4th and about 7.
And with 10 seconds on a play clock, that play clock went from 14 to 10. Now down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I don't know what's going on with the clock.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Might have to take a timeout.
That clock skipped like a rock on a river.
Yeah, there were some clock issues. Not only with the play clock, but with the game clock as well. The game clock wasn't ticking like it was supposed to either. So officially right now we're at 7:31. And Oak Hill's facing 4th and about 7. I think the line to make there.
Line to make looks like the 6 to me.
Yeah.
So that'll be spotted at the 7. So it's, no, from the 17. Oh, no, from the 14. Yeah, 13. We'll get it right eventually.
So Oak Hill burns their first time out of the half, and they're looking to tack on to this 20-0 lead on this 4th and 7. And you know, I don't know what play you want to draw up here. I'm thinking you're putting the ball in Luke Endicott's hands, putting him in the pocket, and letting him scan the field and try to find somebody. There's been several times tonight that the middle of the field's been open with Riverside, almost like sometimes they're in a cover 0. I don't know if they're in a cover 0, but they've had that look at times, like it looks like they're almost playing man across the board. And I will say, I mean, the middle of the field looks open again here to me. Now, Oak Hill's in that twin bunch set look, which, like I've said in the past, a lot of times that's their jet sweep look. But they broke attendance, and there goes Carson.
Pass is caught.
That should be a first down.
It'll be close. They're going to mark him down, I think, at the 5,
That
which
should
would
do
move
it.
the chains.
That would move it. So they show that jet sweep look to Carson, but then they ran a little wheel route with Cade Compton out of the backfield that time. And Luke Endicott put it right on him. Nice little play design to pick up that 4th and 7. That moves the sticks and puts Oak Hill in a 1st and goal situation. So really, I like the call. Good ball by Luke, a nice shot by Cade to haul it in and get to the sticks.
If I'm reading the number right, it looks like Solomon's back in there at running back.
Yeah, I believe he is.
And he will get the handoff, trying to find his way to the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Oak Hill.
Solomon Truman's first touchdown of the year. And again, I believe that's a zone read. Luke Endicott with the right read as he handed it to Solomon Truman. And Truman gets into the end zone from 5 yards out. And that's going to extend the Oak Hill lead here now to 26-0. As Jagger Workman's going to come in and try to tack on this extra point. So a really nice opening drive here from Oak Hill. I said they wanted to have a good, clean drive. They did have one penalty that stymied it a little bit, but they were able to overcome that, get in the end zone, and extend this out now to a 4-score ball game. As Jagger Workman's in here to attempt this extra point. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. That kick is no good as that went under the crossbar. And that's going to keep it at a 26-0 game. As right now, Lucas Berry's helping with some technical issues we're having, so you'll have me by myself just for a minute here. And Riverside find themselves down 4 scores, is in bad shape right now.
Chris would like to take this time to apologize. We had some technical issues. Our camera went out for some unknown reason other than the fact that it's Oak Hill High School.
Darren's not here, and the universe just wanted to test you.
No, it's really weird. I was thinking, like, is something going to happen? Right before that happened, I was thinking something's coming. This game's going too well. It can't not happen.
Of course.
So we apologize if we lost camera. We don't really know what happened, but we found out. We got it back. So if anything happens, we'll try it again. We hope nothing else happens. But
well, if you missed it, Solomon Truman from 5 yards out capped off a nice Oak Hill drive, and it's 26-0 Devils with 7:06 left here in the third quarter.
All right. So. And again, Andrew Wingrove, rather.
Yeah, man, going to put that in the end zone. That's his third touchback of the year, and I'm loving every bit of that. So, I think that can, and I'm making kind of a joke of it. I really do think the last couple of years that's been an Achilles heel for Oak Hill is that they've put their opponents in really good field position too often. And if you can start them at the 20 instead of the 40 or 45, that's pretty big.
That's huge.
So I'm not making light of it. Andrew Wingrove putting those kicks in the end zone really is.
He's a weapon.
He's a weapon, and he really does help your defense. So that's great. I'm really thrilled to see that.
I mean, we talk about it so often, and tomorrow's game, Sunday's games, like, start from the touchback. So what? In high school, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It sure is. It really helps your field position, put your defense in a good position.
And here is the snap. It's another sack.
James Ludwig with another TFL. He had back-to-back sacks late in the first half. He's picking up where he left off. So we do have Jeremy and Jaden Lewis in there right now on the defensive line with this big lead. Ian Bellinger's in there as a defensive end. So with this big lead, Devon Marion giving his two big guys, Derek Sullivan and Braden Knight, giving them a blow on defense and putting the Lewis brothers in there right in the interior.
This is a great chance. We talked about it. Oak Hill played a barn burner last week against Nicholas County. This is a chance to get some guys some game that you may need later on.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that I'll expound on right after this.
It's a pretty good run.
Yeah, it was a good run. He ran through the tackle with Jagger Knox that time. He couldn't quite bring him down. Cade Compton did. And that was Zion Christian who got it up above the 25. But when you play all these close games, you really can't get younger players any varsity experience. So, again, with the 26-0 lead, we might see some younger players actually get in here and get some time that they normally don't get.
I can't remember save the Herbert Hoover loss last year where Oak Hill played a game where it was this comfortable at this stage. What a play from Tavion Woods.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with Tavion Woods because they were trying to run that speed option again out here to the right, and Oak Hill had it covered up. They were trying to option off James Ludwig, but then Cade Compton came from his linebacker position and he had the pitch man. Woods really had nowhere to go, but was able to reverse his field, cut up to the left, and then he found a first down and moved the sticks. I am impressed with Tavion Woods. As rough as a night as it's been for Riverside, I think he's been the bright spot.
And I'll it is what it is, but Riverside is stuck in a situation where look at their schedule. They're playing St. Albans, Nitro, Parkersburg, Spring Valley, Woodrow, South Charleston, Winfield, and Capital. That's tough sledding.
It is tough sledding.
It's a team that's got talent, and in any other situation, they may have a few more wins on their record, but because of who they're playing, they're going to get stuck with a record that may not indicate what talent that team has.
And again, like we mentioned, Malachi Hope is not playing. We don't know why that is, if it's injury-related, if it's a discipline issue, but Malachi Hope, who is probably their best offensive player, is not played tonight. As again, Woods takes off to the outside. He's going to be cut down there by Antoine Hicks.
I did not do that game. I was there in the studio with you all, but it was you and Greg Chris. I don't remember how Malachi helped play, but Tavion Woods, he's a heck of a player.
Yeah,
I'd love to see what.
I do think Riverside has. I think they have some talent at the skill positions. Their line is really young. I was looking at. They have one senior who starts on the line. They got a couple of sophomores. They have a freshman. So they're very young up front, and I think maybe that's stymieing them here a little bit. They might be a load in a year or two.
Oh yeah. Snap is back. Woods will drop to throw, and that pass is going to be batted down and nearly intercepted.
Yeah, and a nice job that time again. That was Caleb Compton who broke that up. And he's been in on 2 or 3 plays, and like we mentioned before, he's getting his first action of the season. He wasn't able to play last week, and I don't know for sure. I'm guessing it might have been a practice. He didn't have enough practices. Maybe
Probably,
he started late.
yeah.
But he's came in and played really well. And Brad had told me that's Brad Compton's nephew and Cade Compton's cousin, and he told me that Caleb was going to be available, and that they thought that he would be able to play some snaps for him, and he's done a nice job in that secondary for him here tonight. And I think we have an injury down there. It looks like it might be another cramp, though. It looks like they're stretching him out.
Yeah, we had one, the play prior, Red Devil was almost in the exact same spot. So 4:41 to go in the third quarter. It is 26-0. Oak Hill has the lead over Riverside. And just to kind of hit one more point, just because we were talking about how young Riverside's offensive line is, you can't teach experience. You can't. Especially in the offensive line, those guys have to gel. They have to come together, and it will take time.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
If they keep – and my goodness, there's a ton of talent down there at the Canal Valley. I mean, let's look at the most famous guy down there, Randy Moss, right? They got athletes down there. That pipeline, you presume, is going to keep going Riverside. If they get that offensive line figured out, and by that I mean just older, they're going to be a handful.
Yeah, I think Woods is just a junior. Von Brockman's just a freshman. So next year, and again, if Hope comes back, he's just a sophomore. So they've got some talent at the skill positions that could give teams a problem. Oak Hill showing blitz with those linebackers. Truman and Compton both. Now they're kind of backing out of it. Or they back out of it.
Pass is going to be swung out here to the near side, and that's just out of the hands of Ty Arms.
Yeah, and he had him too. Ty Arms was out here in the flat, and he was open, and he had him. And if he catches it, if he makes one move, he probably has a first down, but he couldn't quite haul that in. And it looks like Riverside's going to bring in their punt team as Carson Treadway is going back to field this punt. And I think this is the same. I think this is going to be Eli Taft, who also does their place kicking. He's going to be their punter here. And he's going to – this is his second punt of the night, if I'm correct, Lucas. That's going to be offsides. Yeah, somebody got jumpy. That was Tyler Colosino who got a little jumpy, so that's going to cost them 5. And actually, I'm anxious to see if that changes the decision here, because that 5 yards is going to put them close to the stick.
If it was me, it would.
Yeah, I think if it was me, it might too. Down 26-0, 4:21 here in the third quarter.
And I'm saying this just from the fact that I can get my guys another rep, right?
Yeah, and I think Keith Huffman is thinking like what we're thinking now. They actually say that's a first down. I didn't think it moved it that much.
I didn't either.
I was not looking at the stick right, I guess. I thought it might maybe make it like a 4th and 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking 4th and inches. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, that actually bigger penalty than I thought. So that's going to give them an automatic first down.
No need to make a decision then.
No decision's off the table.
I'll make one other point I just noticed from the PA announcing that we heard after this play. Snap is back. It's a quick pass out wide, and it's going to fall incomplete. I don't know if you noticed this, Chris, as we were coming up these bleachers, but with Valley High School being closed a couple of years ago now, you can either go to Riverside or you can go to Oak Hill. This is kind of that middle.
Right.
But Valley Pre-K 8 actually had a section dedicated to them tonight in the stands tonight. We had a chance to bring the kids out here and get a chance to see the older kids out here doing battle. That's nice.
That's great. I agree. And it looks like we got to change here. This is Dasani McAllister now taking snaps at quarterback for the Warriors. So they've moved Woods out to the outside. And actually, that's going to be Woods who gets the handoff right there. Excuse me. They moved him to a running back. Now they have Dasani McAllister. And they did. Brad told me that I think McAllister actually got the start last week against Greenbrier East, and then they made a change at halftime where they brought Tavion Woods in. And I can see why they do that, because Woods, when Woods has the ball in his hands at quarterback, he gives them a really good run-pass option out there. So Woods is actually checked out, so McAllister's in there taking snaps.
And we'll see if this is the pattern for the rest of the game or not.
Yeah, and Cortez Lacey's back there in the backfield with McAllister now.
And McAllister will drop to throw. That pass is going to be knocked down, and what a hit that was after that play.
Yeah, he wanted Riley Gilmore, who had snuck out from his H-back position out in the flat, but Carson Treadway was all over it. He read it, and he laid a good hit on him, even though Riley had already kind of bobbled the ball. So really nice job that time from Carson Treadway. So we're back down. We're back to a 4th down, and I think Riverside again is going to bring in their punt team here, facing, 4th and about 5 or 6 from their own 49.
Yeah, that should be 4th and 5 because the line to gain is the 46.
Well, let's see if Eli Taft gets this one off. Thought Oak Hill give him another free 1st down.
He will get it off. It's a pretty good punt.
Yeah, it is a good punt. Takes a nice bounce for him, too.
And was that touched?
Yeah, Carson fielded that. He
He's
might
gonna
have some
spin out of
room
it.
out here.
Carson Treadway to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 40, to the 45, 50, 45, 40. Flag comes in late.
Yeah, we had a crackback right at the 50. We had a crackback block right at the 50. I saw it. I didn't see who threw it. Regardless, it was a terrific return from Carson Treadway. It looked like it might be disaster for a minute because he did touch that punt and it got away from him. But then he was able to retrieve it, and you could see when he retrieved it that he had room out here to the left side. But we did have a crackback right around midfield, and that's going to probably take it back to the 35-yard line. I saw it.
Man, he pulled that out of a hat.
Yeah, he sure did. But it is something that, and Oak Hill had several crackbacks called on them last year, and it's at this point the rule's been in effect long enough that you got to know it.
Yeah.
You cannot do that anymore. You cannot make blindside blocks. And they caught Antoine for doing it. You can't do that anymore. And
How long has that rule been in effect?
It's been several years. I mean, it's been in effect long enough now. You got to know it. So
Okay.
you cannot have blindside blocks anymore. You can't just lay guys out. The best you can do is kind of wall them off and get in their way, but you can't just have blindside blocks anymore. And that's something Oak Hill's got to clean up because they had a few of those last year too.
Because I asked that because I was thinking, like, have these kids really been reared in that?
Yeah, they should. It's been around long enough that they know they can't crack back anymore and have blindside blocks.
Snap is back to Luke Endicott. He'll drop to throw. He's got a man downfield. That pass is incomplete. And he threw that into to coverage.
Well, and again, it looked like to me, I think Oak Hill was in
Is
a
there
2-by.
another whistle on it? Oh,
There's
come on.
a cramp down there.
Okay.
I think that's Owen Gross, that was the intended receiver, so he went up for it. Yeah, so again, I think we're in a 2-by-2 set, ran 4 verticals. The only problem is our spacing sometimes on those verticals isn't great.
Yeah.
And you end up throwing into a crowd. I don't know what's going on with Antoine and Z. They collapsed themselves. I think they're clowning a little bit. Owen's going to hobble off here. But yeah, that's a couple of times. And it actually worked out in Oak Hill's favor on that ricochet that Z caught and took in for a touchdown. But ideally for me, I wouldn't like to have receivers that close to each other.
That's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's too much of a crowd, and they might want to give
Another sideline warning.
Yeah. You got to give the refs room to run on that sideline there. They're supposed. If you're looking on the screen, all the players and coaches are supposed to be standing on the red part of the sideline where it says Oak Hill. You're not supposed to be on the white part. That's for refs to run. You got to get out of their way, and that's just basics. So they got to do a better job of keeping the players back there.
They won't see one here, but if you see one tomorrow, you'll see the get back coach.
Yeah. We might need a get back coach here for Oak Hill.
So all we'll do is reset with 3:04 to go in the third quarter. Ball rests on the 40-yard line. Endicott will hand the ball off. That's Kay Compton going nowhere.
Yeah, nice job that time from Riverside. That was number 33. Let me get a name for you on that. That's Zach Kreider. He made a nice tackle from his linebacker position. So that's going to bring up a third down for Oak Hill. Third and about 4. The line to make is the 45-yard line. Looks like the ball's resting on the 41. Tyler Colasino's checked in as that widest man out to the right.
Snap is back, and the cut will drop to throw. He'll be rushed out of the pocket, and that pass is nearly intercepted.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I liked what he did. He climbed the pocket. He got some pressure. I think Riverside sent 5 men that time. And it's so easy for a high school quarterback when you get pressure to want to bail out to the outside. So I can appreciate when a high school quarterback climbs the pocket and steps up in the pocket. And Luke did a good job that time of doing that. But his throw wasn't accurate. He was trying to hit a man out there, and he just put it behind him. Like you said, he almost threw an interception that time.
We'll line it up again, 4th down and 4 from the 41. Riverside looks like they were expecting a punt. Now they bring everyone back in. Might have someone dashing back if this is just a pooch kick, like we think it might be. No, it's going to be a screen out to Antoine Hicks. Antoine's going to lose about a yard there.
So that's an interesting call. Yeah, interesting call there on 4th down. Another flag comes in. That's going to be after the play. I don't know, again, what that is. We have another player. Looks like he's cramping down there. So I got to be honest. I'm really surprised Oak Hill went for it right there on their own territory.
Up essentially 4 scores, yeah.
Up 26-0. They decided to try it, though, and Riverside was all over. So it's going to put the Warriors in really good field position here on the Oak Hill side of the field, though. They're going to take over right at the 40-yard line of Oak Hill.
So 2:16 to go in the third quarter. We remind you that, like I said, Oak Hill will hit the road next week, go down to Princeton. First road game of the year. First of 3 straight on the road. Then we have a bye. Then we come back home for, I believe that's Capital that walks in here. Yes, it is.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Riverside, number 7. That's 15 yards.
So it's going to be John Battle. They still get the ball, but they're going to take over 15 yards further back.
Yeah. So they'll go from the Oak Hill 40 to their own 45. I got to admit, Chris, I didn't really see what – it had to have been something he said because I didn't see anything that was out of the ordinary.
I've said all game, I guess there's a lot of talking going on down there with a lot of the flags, and you can see the officials at times have been very demonstrative with the players. So I'm guessing there's just a lot of talking down there, and they're trying to keep control of the game, and they've thrown a lot of flags to do that, which really hurts the flow of the game if you're watching it.
Snap is back. It's Woods once again. No, it's not. It's McAllister. He will drop to throw, and that pass is incomplete.
Yeah, he had his man, too. That was Logan Tudor, who was coming across the field to try to help him out. And he was there, and McAllister just short-armed it and bounced it to him. But Tudor did a nice job. And when he saw his quarterback bailing out there to the left, he broke off his route and started going across the field with him like he's supposed to. But McAllister just couldn't put the ball on him that time. I'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
I'll go ahead and apologize. We made note of the quarterback change. If I've said Woods enough, that 1 and 11 on that jersey,
they're
not
numbers,
exactly easy to read.
Their numbers up here are a nightmare. So I actually think, yeah, he's still at quarterback. I'm wondering if that's Woods beside him. Yeah, that was Woods beside him.
And that's going to be caught
That was
by
Brockman.
Von Brockman
That's
once
going to be
again. Another flags.
That's going to be a face mask from Carson Treadway. That'll be a 15-yard variety, too. Because he grabbed it and twisted. So that's going to move the sticks for Riverside. That was a nice play regardless. Brockman, corralled that swing pass and got some good yards, but that'll definitely move the sticks after the face mask.
Defense, number 3. That 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. Riverside.
You called it.
And Riverside's in their best field position since their second drive of the game, where they actually had a goal-to-go situation at one point. And that drive ended in Owen Gross with an interception at the goal line that he returned out. And this is their best position to score since then.
Down to the 31, minute 53 to go in the third quarter. And that's Woods. He'll bounce it back out to the left side.
Really nice tackle out there by Antoine Hicks. Cut his legs out from under him. Antoine's not a big kid, but he does a really good job of coming up on run support, and he's a sure tackler. I've seen Antoine do that many times over, not just last week, but over the course of his career. He's a sure tackler out there at the corner position. That's something that I'm a sucker for. I love a cornerback that's also physical and supports the run, and Antoine does a good job of doing that.
McAllister, still the running back, has Woods back there with him. Snap is back. McAllister drops to throw.
James Ludwig, sack number 3. James Ludwig's having a day. And his dad's loving it. His dad's right below us here. Yeah, in the stands. His dad's loving it. James has had a really nice day. And he's doing it in different ways. There's been a couple times he's used his speed to get outside that right tackle, and then that time he just bull rushed him and went right through him. So James Ludwig having a really nice game. He's got 3 sacks. He's also got at least one more tackle for loss. So James is having a big night on defense here for Oak Hill.
So I'll do a quick math. That's a sack and a half per game he's averaging right now.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Snap is back.
He came right through him again. That time McAllister stepped up.
He's got a man incomplete. I don't know how that did fall incomplete, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they might have to start committing to back to help with that right tackle out there. Because he's having trouble getting James blocked. And he's a good pass rusher from that defensive end position. And they might have to double him or keep a back end to chip him because he got in that time, too, and forced McAllister up in the pocket.
So here we are, 4th down and 10. Or 4th down and 21. So what it's saying on the scoreboard. Yep, okay, yep. I misread the downs. 4th and 21, and there's not many plays in the book for that, but we'll see what Riverside has cooked up.
Yeah, and Oak Hill has 2 safeties back here deep. So they're going to try to keep everything in front of them. Riverside's going to take another timeout with 9.5 seconds left. Unlike, last week, I remember it was a really fast-moving third quarter. This is
not so much.
This has not been the case.
Who keeps turning the lights off?
It wasn't the case last year when Riverside and Oak Hill got together. I don't know what's going on with the lights.
So let's see. We've had the lights go off several times. We've had a band member collapse on the field. We've had penalties galore.
Yeah.
And a bad snap and a touchdown 22 seconds into the game.
Yeah, all we
It's
need
a
now
wild
is
and wacky night.
like a lightning delay or somebody in the end zone to have their car lights on. We got to stop the game for that. That'd be right on label.
It pretty much would, yeah. I've said this, and when WVU goes to Lubbock, Texas, weird things happen when we go to Lubbock. Weird things happen when Oak Hill and Riverside get together.
Yeah, they they play some really disjointed, elongated games. I'll say that. And this game's heading that way too. A lot of incomplete passes, a lot of penalties. Now we're starting to see kids cramp up, so we're starting to see injury timeouts. So if you get paid by the hour, this is your game.
If you want the people who are trying to make the drive to Athens, Ohio tomorrow, it may not
You're
be.
not doing, if you're going to Athens, Ohio tomorrow, you're not doing, and I know a couple people doing that, including our clock operator up here, Chris Kalani. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just starts running the clock regardless.
Like, we got to go, man.
Because he's like, I got to get on the road.
Snap is back. Deep drop. Pass is there, but his receiver fell down.
Yeah. And of course, instead of ending the quarter, that's one of the we're going to get one more play off here.
Of course.
Because why not?
Why not?
Why wouldn't we?
At this point, why not? I'll make this point about tomorrow's game for WVU. I've been by Athens, Ohio many times going to Columbus. It looks like a really nice campus.
It is a beautiful campus. I've been through the campus one time, and it's a beautiful campus up there in Athens. I hope WVU can pull off. I think they will. I think we're maybe stressing too much. And watch me eat my words, but I think maybe we're stressing too much about Ohio. I hope so.
Well, they're the MAC champions from last year.
Yeah, they are a good football team as Luke Endicott pulls that one. Doesn't have a lot going on. Nice job in the interior of that Riverside defense.
And perhaps mercifully that brings the quarter to a close, or at least
Yeah.
it will. Well, okay, yeah. Looked like people were lining up. I was like, what, are we going to have another penalty? What are we going to do now? All right, we'll come back and we'll reset for the final 12 minutes of this seemingly marathon game on the New River Network after this.
The winner of tonight's band raffle is ticket number 7834764. Ticket number 7834764. Please head to the concession stand to collect your winnings.
We welcome you back in here. Final quarter ready to begin. And someone in this stadium presumably just won tickets to the WVU football game. What game and where, we have no idea. But someone just won the right to go see West Virginia play.
Nice. Good for them. If they need somebody to go with them, give me a call.
Endicott will keep it himself, and that's going to be 7 yards.
Yeah, nice little, that's a design QB draw right there. And again, that's something that Luke can give you. I think I mentioned this last week. He's not Devin Richardson. He's not a kid that's going to go 50 or 60 yards, but he'll stick his face up there and go into the interior of the line and get you a tough 5, 6, 7 yards and give you a chance, here on third and manageable. So, I mentioned last week, they just need Luke Endicott to be the best version of himself. And, so far in the first 2 games, I think he's done a pretty good job of doing that.
I second that. And again, we go with 2 receivers.
That's their bleeding clock right now.
Oh, they're absolutely
wisely.
bleeding clock, yes.
And they're going to take a timeout.
Timeout taken by Oak Hill. I was about ready to make that point about how Kansas State inbounds in the middle of the field. Clock keeps running.
Clock, of course, we have to take a timeout.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me.
After the game, you have the 5th quarter.
But if you're Oak Hill, you're happy with the 26-0. They're, like we've mentioned a couple times, there's a lot of coaching and teaching moments though to take from this game. Way too many penalties for Oak Hill. They've been sloppy themselves in some regard. And like we've mentioned, you have a whole different beast with Princeton next week where to have any chance against those guys, you have to play a clean, mistake-free game. And even if you do that, you're fighting an uphill battle with all the skill and talent that Princeton has down there. And the last score, I was checking scores at halftime. They were up on Bluefield 20-6. Last score I saw, so they were on their way to going 2-0 heading into that game themselves.
So the game is not over, but let's say Oak Hill holds on. Let's play advocate here. It's a quad A game. Like that's a big win for Oak Hill in the playoff standings in the end, because Oak Hill doesn't have a ton of quad A teams on the schedule. Endicott will drop to throw. He's got a man downfield. That pass is just incomplete.
Man, and I can't fault anybody. Luke threw a really good ball down there. He had Carson running a post pattern. Great effort by Carson Treadway. He laid out to try to get that right off his hands. And, yeah, I guess Luke overthrew him by about a yard. But, man, that's a really impressive ball. I think Luke throws a really good ball. I've been impressed with Luke Endicott, who, again, it's worth noting, he's making just a second varsity start. And he was 10 of 17 last week, 170 yards, had a couple touchdowns. He did have one interception, but he overcame that to throw the game-winning touchdown pass with 1:25 left. And he got him another TD pass here tonight already.
Snap is back once again. He'll drop the throw once again. That's a little short for of Z. Lewis.
Yeah, I think somebody might have deflected that at the line of scrimmage. I think.
May have,
I think somebody got a hand up and deflected that. So they went for it on fourth down that time. So that's going to give Riverside the ball in Oak Hill territory here at the 47-yard line.
And, you know, I'll kind of chime in here with Luke Endicott. If you're talking about through a kid's first, a game in 3 quarters to have a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, making his first 2 starts, you'll take that.
No, I think Luke's played very well. I'm really impressed with him. He shows a lot of poise. I mentioned earlier, and this is so hard to teach to a lot of high school kids. When he gets pressured, his instinct is to step up into the pocket. Most high school kids immediately want to bail out. So I'm really impressed that Luke, he already seems to have that coached into him, and that's a big battle to overcome.
Man comes in motion across the Riverside formation. Snap is back. It's a handoff. No, it's a fake, and they throw it. That's intercepted.
Yeah, that's going to be the second interception of the game for Owen Gross. So he gets a 2-interception game from that free safety position. McAllister looked like he a little unsure of himself, and he actually threw that from a kind of a funky arm angle and just overthrew his receiver, and Owen Gross was waiting on it from that safety position. So a couple of kids for Oak Hill on the defensive side of the ball. James Ludwig with 3 sacks, Owen Gross with 2 picks, are putting up some impressive defensive stats for the Devils tonight.
And Endicott, still in the ball game, brings the play out to his mates.
And this is that jet sweep look that they show when they have twin bunch sets here, tight to the line.
And here we go. It's going to be Carson Treadway trying to spin out of it. He won't. Instead, he'll spin right into a whole host of Warriors.
Yeah, didn't have a lot going on out there. Good job by Riverside to set that edge and cut him off. Carson tried to reverse his field, but there was nothing doing. Again, I apologize. I like to give kids credit for the tackle. Couldn't quite see who brought him down out there. And, yeah, as we mentioned before, the Riverside numbers up here
It's rough.
are really hard to pick up the way their numbers are on their jerseys. It looks like Tyler Colasino is going to bring in the play from the sideline to Luke Endicott. The only positive of that is the clock's still running.
Well,
And as I say that,
and the lights go off again.
so Braden Knight's coming off the field.
That's the 4th time the lights have gone off in this half.
Is that by design because they have these sticks out here? I'm wondering if it is because the cheerleaders have these light sticks out here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that until now.
I mean, are they doing that on purpose? But this is we're in the middle of the game, though.
Right, it's like if
I
you're
mean-
going to do that, do it at halftime.
Yeah.
Not,
Well, I mean, the lights are still out at this point, so I don't know.
if I was Heath Huffman, I'd be fuming at this.
Yeah, I don't. I'm wondering. I'm just guessing because I see the cheerleaders have these light sticks. There's several people in the stands. They did this during the band. I don't know. At this point, I can't think this is on purpose though. I think this is a mistake.
Actual,
Yeah, I think the lights are off now.
Well, just when you thought this game couldn't get any weirder. There we are.
Yeah, you're right. That's happened 3 or 4 times here tonight. But every time it happens, people throw up their glow sticks, and I'm
That's either
I'm
extreme
like, is that?
preparedness or just oh, come on.
I think they're just messing with us at this point.
I think so. What did we do to you? What did we do to you?
So that's going to bring up a second down, 2nd and
9-ish.
2nd and 9.
You know how we had Independence in here 2 years in a row? Riverside ain't coming back here. If we're going to play them, we're going to go down there.
We need to drop them. Every time we play them, it's like a 3-hour marathon for different reasons.
Yeah. All right. 10:05 on the game clock. Referee says roll it. Thank goodness. Snap is back.
Ooh.
And that ball's on the ground, and I think Riverside came up with it.
So that was number 25, Cortez Lacey, who's played running back. He came right off the edge. Luke Endicott never saw him, and he knocked it loose. And you're right. I think it's going to be Riverside balls. They're going to take over at the Oak Hill 22-yard line now.
And again, I'll make a point. Just again, you can't teach experience, and there's not much you can do about a blindside hit like that. But that Riverside's been able to get home.
Yeah, I mean, Riverside, defensively, I don't think they've played awful. One of Oak Hill's touchdowns came on a 7-yard drive. Another one came off, let's face it, kind of a circus lucky ricochet. Defensively, I don't think Riverside's played awful.
No. The actual defense, when it's had a chance to defend, has given up 14 points to thereabouts. The ball's on the ground again.
That's been the story of the game for Riverside is too many mistakes offensively. And again, that time just an unforced error as Cortez Lacey was trying to take that quick pitch and just drop the football.
Now, Chris, you came in here after I did. Did you see glow stick giveaway night or something?
They didn't give me a glow stick. That's all I can tell you. When I came through the gate, they didn't give me a glow stick. So I don't know what's happening with that, and the lights going off. I mean, the lights have went off now several times, so I'm not sure what's happening with that.
That's at least 5, if not 6. Anyway, it's 2nd and 13 for Riverside. The ball on the 25-yard line. Lining in there 4th to 12. And they're going to run an option here with no option but to go down.
Yeah, so they brought Woods back in at the quarterback position. They tried to run that option, but they ran it to the short side. I'm never a big fan of running options to the short side just because I think you can use the sideline as an extra defender.
Yeah.
But they tried that option to the short side that time. It went for nothing.
And the clock continues to roll now, 8:35 to go in the game. If Oak Hill scores again, oh come!
Well, Lucas, speaking of things that need to be cleaned up, it might be a good thing Oak Hill doesn't have a home game for about a month.
It might be.
Because
you're right about that.
We got to get a handle on this light situation. And it's a good thing Oak Hill's got a month or so to.
Now, I only say this because you have more connections to Oak Hill than I do. I may have to have you put on your investigative reporter hat and figure out if this is intentional or if this is something faulty in these lights.
Well, I got a text from my buddy Scott Ellswick who told me it's neon light, which is fine. I have no problem with neon light. You just can't keep cutting off the lights when you're trying to play a football game.
No.
If you want to wear.
And now someone's got their lights on over there. That's going to be another stoppage. Turn your lights off. This referee will not be afraid to stop the game again. I'm going to tell Dare not to leave the country again because every time he does, weird things happen.
Yeah.
I know, no.
And I'm really close to slipping Chris Delaney $100 bill and just saying, keep the clock running, man.
I'll pull the 100 in my wallet. I'll double it.
I'll pay the fine.
I'll double it.
Let's keep the clock running as we did last year. I mean, we're on our way to maybe getting this game over past 10 o'clock, and that's exactly what happened last year. You're not supposed to. High school games aren't supposed to last 3 hours.
Yeah, we're right there. It's 9:30.
These teams are closing in on back-to-back years playing 3-hour games.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Both coaches are talking to the officials now, and
I mean, I'm not saying I would, but if they said give up, I wouldn't blame them.
If you're Heath Huffman, you got to beef here, man. I mean, you're getting beat 26-0. The lights are going off every 2 minutes now.
You got what will feel like a long drive back down 61.
Yeah.
Like, come on, just. Man. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man.
Yeah, and frankly, I don't know what's going on.
Beats me.
Both coaches are talking to different officials on their side of the field.
The head referee is currently on Riverside side of the field.
Yeah,
Looks like he's going to walk
talking
back
to Heath
over.
Huffman.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he walks over to Devon Marion. He's talking to someone who
Yeah.
I can only assume is a representative of the SSAC, maybe?
I have no idea.
Hmm. This might be the last neon night that Oak Hill High School ever has.
Yeah, it might be.
High school equivalent of 10-cent beer night in Cleveland.
He's put 8 seconds on the clock.
8:20, he said. Put 10 seconds back on that clock.
Don't you dare put any time on that.
I'm with you. No, we're good. Just call it miss 10 seconds. We'll investigate it
man.
afterwards.
Oh my goodness.
The lights are sponsored by Gross
It seems to me that a number of patrons have decided this is it.
Yeah, I can't say I blame them.
We've run one play in 5 minutes.
So it looks like we're finally trying to get back to action here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
If honestly, this is ridiculous.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, and guess what? It's starting to rain a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. So everything's going to pot here. And Oak Hill tonight.
When you expect anything less, Riverside's in town.
Oh man.
You know what I wonder, Chris? I'm just thinking about this. What stories are those players going to produce from this?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hear it.
Someone from Michigan, we understand, is watching. So not the farthest we know of watching. Well, not anymore. Darren went to bed. So like 2 a.m. in Scotland. Pass is going to be incomplete, and that will stop the clock with a whole 3 seconds coming off.
Yeah.
No, they're going to keep it going.
It's going to bring up a 4th down for Riverside.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a while after the game because we gotta clean the locker room and stuff.
As Riverside's just trying to take what they can, any positive they can. They love to get in the end zone here because they have a 4th and 14 to navigate where they can do that after getting a turnover to put them in great field position. Solomon Truman came in and blasted Woods just as he released that. He throws that incomplete, and Oak Hill's going to take over now. 1 downs with 7:55 left here, Lucas.
Now, Chris, I don't want to play offensive coordinator, but I will. Here's the play call for Oak Hill the rest of the game. Quarterback take ball, hand off, up the middle.
Yes, let's keep the clock rolling, man. No more incomplete passes. Let's keep the clock rolling.
And for all that is good, do not run out of bounds.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't even care if Riverside figures it out. Everything is to the wide side of the field.
He right there. He right there.
So Riverside,
And
of course,
a
they have a flag. And what might be classified as too little too late, Riverside is finally going to that five-man front. And
False start against Oak Hill.
blitzing their linebackers. But, again, I think that's going to be too little too late. I thought they would have done that earlier. They had a lot of success last year with that five-man front. And I thought they might even come out in a five-man front, but they didn't.
That was number 74. That would be Tyler Garrett who got called for that false start.
Yeah, he's the right guard.
Snap is back. Here's a handoff going up the middle. I like the uniform for Oak Hill, but those two stripes on the side of the jersey always kind of mess with me about whether that's a number or not. I keep looking for like a number like 11 or 1 or something, and it's not. You gotta wait till they turn around. It's a sharp-looking uniform, though.
It is a sharp-looking. That was Cade Compton on the carry. Cade had a nice workmanlike game last week. He had 16 carries for 87 yards. I'm not sure what he's up to now. We'll get this game stats midweek, so we'll always be a little week behind. But Cade had a nice game last week. He was the leading ball carrier for the Red Devils. He got in the end zone tonight for his first touchdown of the year. And that's Solomon Truman. That's a nice little run from Solomon. Is he going to be spun out of bounds by Tavion Woods?
I'm glad you mentioned the offensive numbers here because I actually have some of them. Like we said, Luke Endicott was 10 of 17 for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's a 56% completion percentage. Cade Compton, we just mentioned him. Carson Treadway had 7 carries for 77 yards. That's 11 yards a pop. He'll take that. And then Carson also was a leading receiver for Oak Hill last year. Had 80 yards on 2 catches, so that's 40 yards per. Z. Lewis had 4 receptions going for 52, 13 yards per. And then Antoine had 4 for 38. That's about 9.5 yards per.
Yeah, Carson Treadway with 157 total yards from scrimmage. That's a big game from him. And Oak Hill needs more of that as the season progresses from Carson. Because he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. They'll line him up in the backfield. They'll line him up at receiver throwing passes. They'll run him on, jet sweeps. So they need Carson to have big games like that. And he certainly came up big last week for Oak Hill, especially late in the game. In fact, that last 84-yard drive, he was responsible for all 84 yards.
That's
on the jet sweep and then the 40-yard touchdown pass.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Handoff going up the middle, trying to bounce to the outside. That's Truman in there.
Yeah, you're right. Solomon Truman in on the carry that time. John Battle in on the stop for Riverside.
So again, for Riverside, as we wind down, approaching 6 minutes to go in the ball game, they'll come back home next week. They'll face St. Albans. And Oak Hill, as you mentioned, will take this show on the road for the first time in 2025. We'll go to Princeton.
And again, this is actually a 6-man front. Maybe even a 7-man front here for Riverside as they're really crowding that line of scrimmage.
They really are on 3rd down. Compton.
Nice
first
cut
down
by
and then
Cade.
some. Do not go out of bounds. He's going to do exactly what I told him not to do.
That was a nice cut by Cade Compton, though. Bounce that to the outside, move the sticks, kept the drive going. And, Cade's gotten a lot more on his shoulders this year. Cade had the luxury last year of just playing defense. He was an inside linebacker. He had no offensive responsibilities. And, he's a starting running back, starting linebacker. And, it's a lot of collisions when you're a running back and a linebacker. That's tough on your body. I was joking with him over the summer, so you're going to have to be in shape. But I think he is. He's done a good job the first 2 games. But he's got a lot more on his plate this year manning that running back position. He does have some help with his other linebacker, Solomon Truman, though.
Handoff going once again. We'll see who that is. That's Truman. He's back out near the 25-yard line.
And again, this is a little – they're going 2 back right now with Cade and Solomon. And this is different than what we saw earlier, where they're each lined up on either side of him. So again, they're going two back, but they're showing
It's a different variation.
different variations of that two back look, and it looks like that Oak Hill's going to bring some younger players in here. As number 4, Caleb Spike comes in. I think he's going to be the quarterback. That's Mikey Spike's younger brother. Mikey graduated last. Mikey was a really good player for Oak Hill.
Yeah,
He's
he was.
continuing his collegiate career at Concord. So his younger brother Caleb is in there. We have 2 new running backs. It's going to be number 34, Jack Hess. And we'll try to get that other.
And that ball's on the ground, and Spack will fall on it.
I want to see who else is in there.
Snap, Charles.
21 for Oak Hill. That's Isaiah Settle.
Caden Morris, number 24, is in there as they are emptying the bench right now. Try to get some of these young kids' names. Landon Kalani's checked into the game at the offensive line position. Tyler Garrett, the starter, has come out. Brennan Brooks is checked in at a wide receiver position for Oak Hill. Isaiah Settle's checked in at a wide receiver position for Oak Hill. So if they're in, we want to try to call their names.
Yes. As they bleed clock yet again, that play clock stopped at 14 seconds, but it's now down to 10. Snap is back. And that's a handoff going nowhere.
Well, they're in a tough spot because Riverside's starting to empty their bench too, though. I was going to say they're going against Riverside starters, but
Right.
Riverside's starting to get their younger kids in there too. They're blitzing every play at this point. So Riverside's going to take a timeout.
And while we have a second, that gives me a chance to. We talked about like you graduated last year. Did you see where Leonard Farrow was named D2 Player of the Year up at Fairmont State?
Man, I sure did. Leonard Farrow, and I don't remember when Leonard graduated. It was a few years ago. He didn't play for Devon Marion. He played when Coach Moneypenny was here. And I tell you what, man, I knew he goes to when he comes in from school, he goes to the same gym I go to. And every time Leonard would come in, he was more jacked. I mean, you could tell he was putting in the work up at Fairmont. And if any of you missed it, Leonard Farrow, I might be getting the stats wrong, 25 carries, something like 274 yards. He had over 300 total yards, all-purpose yards. He had a day last week for Fairmont State, and I did see that, and I was really proud of him. He's really had a nice collegiate career up at Fairmont.
Spack's going to go deep. That pass
Nice,
is caught.
pulled in. Brennan Brooks. Caleb Spack to Brennan Brooks, and that's going to move the sticks for Oak Hill. Nice job by the young guns right there. Peyton Holstein, number 19, is also checked in. We have Jeremy Lewis checking in at one of those guards.
Landon Kiliani, number 71.
Yeah,
is in
Landon
there.
Kalani's checked
Delaney.
in. Looks like Bryson Oatridge is checked in at that left tackle position. He's number 50.
Spack rolling out to his left, throwing it back across his body. That's knocked down incomplete, and it was very nearly picked off.
Trying to hit Tyler Colasino right there.
Coming into the game now for Oak Hill is number 34, and we're going to name on
That's
that.
Jack Hess.
Yes, it is.
Caden Morris checks out. He's number 24. As Oak Hill's actually trying to do something they don't do very much. They're trying to get to that 30-point mark. One game last year they got to the 30-point mark.
That's wild.
I know, that was the last game of the year against University.
And that's in the end zone, incomplete.
Trying to hit Brendan Brooks out there, threw it into double coverage. It was broken up out there, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 here for Oak Hill.
Yeah, when we talk about it, Oak Hill's always playing close games, and, well, Marion hangs his hat on defense, and it showed up last year.
Yeah.
Third and 10. Okay.
And so we're actually approaching 9:45. And here's Spack. He's dropping the throw. That pass is knocked down.
Yeah,
And that'll bring up 4th and long.
he was trying to hit number 21 out there, Isaiah Settle, put it a little bit behind him. Settle was running a little square out to the flat, and that's going to give Riverside. Actually, it's going to be 4th down now. Pardon me.
So 4th and pretty long. And I think Marion's going to take a little bit to talk to his boys about it. Yep, he is indeed. Timeout here from Oak Hill with 1:52 to go in the ball game.
You know, this might be a good time to try to kick it.
Might be.
Honestly, I mean, why not give your field goal kicker a chance to go out there? I'm spitballing here, but
You're right.
The game's over. Oak Hill doesn't really try field goals very often.
You're not out anything if you
You're
don't.
not out anything if you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think they're going to do that. Yeah. I think they're going to do that. So they're sending Jagger Workman out there. This is going to be a 30-yard field goal from the right hash. So it's not in the middle of the field, but it's from the right hash.
And it won't get Oak Hill to 30 if it's made.
Owen Gross is the holder. Solomon Truman's the long snapper. So we'll see if Jagger Workman can split the upright right here from 30 yards out.
All right, we're about to find out. The snap is back. It's a little high. Kicks up on the way, and that kick is
There you go.
good.
There you go. So I like that. That boosts Jagger Workman's confidence. It might boost Devon Marion's confidence if he gets in position like that again, where you have a 4th and long that the odds say you might not get, but maybe you throw out Jagger Workman and get
steal
3 points out of it. So yeah, that was beneficial right there. That was a drive that was very beneficial for Oak Hill and got Jagger Workman in the box score. And
That's a smart head coaching move, too, because everyone talks about getting players reps, like getting position players reps. Get special teams guys reps.
yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, Owen Gross, that snap was kind of high. Owen Gross did a nice job of corralling that snap, so give him credit on that, too. But yeah, I kind of liked what Coach Marion did right there, and I was thinking that when it was 4th down, I thought, well, why are we? Let's just kick it and see how that looks, because that's frankly not something Oak Hill does a lot, and you're helping that kid's confidence by doing it, and you're putting him, you help his confidence, but you're not putting him in a position where it can cost you anything.
Right, and if you miss it, well, okay, we tried it. You're not
Right.
you're not really out anything. Is that our old friend out there kicking still?
Number 67, Charles Lee's checking in on there, the kickoff team. Trying to call as many of these names as I can. Number 23 is Stephen Browning. He's out there on the kickoff team right now.
84 is Levi Hall.
84 is Levi Hall.
16, Landon Craddock kicks it off for the Red Devils.
Landon Craddock's going to do the kickoff here now for Oak Hill. He's getting his first action of the year. Number 80 is Eli Poole. He's out on the kickoff team for the Red Devils.
And that's a pretty good kick.
Not a bad kick from Landon.
He'll get a roll, and that'll be taken at about the 10. Out from the 15 to the 20, the 25, and spun down. And across the 25, called the 27-yard line with 1:37 to go.
So it looks like that was
game.
number 25, Landon Dunlap, in there on the tackle for Oak Hill. And hopefully we can get in and out of here.
In an actual 1:36.
As I say that, I assume Riverside's going to come out and throw 4 straight incomplete passes.
Well, the light's going to go off again. Who knows?
Yeah, or the lights will go off. Or a pterodactyl will swoop in and take the football, because God knows anything can happen.
Anything can happen, yes. Oh, boy. Can you imagine, though, if a pterodactyl, we'd have that on film. We'd go viral. All right. Back to somewhat serious business. As serious as we can be this
Number
late into a
6,
night.
yeah, Landon Craddock's going to stay out there at the corner.
They'll get it out to Wood.
Oh,
Double
trick
pass.
play.
Got him. First down for Riverside. And he'll get swung out of bounds.
Yeah, so Riverside with a little trick play there, a double pass.
Huffman dug deep into the bag of tricks there.
Yeah, no kidding. Ty Arms pulled that in.
Brandon Brooks. First down, Warriors.
So now if I'm Devon Marion and he pulled that on me, I'm going to run an 11-man blitz right here. I'm bringing the house.
And that's a
They're
swing
going
out.
to do
A
it
double
again.
pass again.
Wow.
Pass is caught.
That's
and in
gonna be
the
a
end zone,
touchdown.
will scoot Riverside. Let's see who that is. It looks like that's Kyler Beard.
I think that was Ty Arms again. He took the pass from Tavion Woods on back-to-back trick plays.
So Riverside does get on the board, and they break the shutout.
Yeah. Sometimes running trick plays against your backups is the thing. Sometimes that'll cause intense conversations in the handshake line.
Oh, yeah, as if there wasn't already enough chirping.
Yeah. So this is Eli Taft wanting to attempt the extra point for the Warriors. As we're at 9:55.
And that kick is up, and it's good. And, Chris, I'm going to say just how things work. We're going to be here at 10.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're going to have a short break here. Yeah. I can see us getting out of here at 10. Yeah, absolutely. 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
That's crazy. That's
opponent.
crazy.
It's like, come on. If it happened 2 years in a row, just a different opponent, it'd be weird. But
Yeah.
the same team, it's even more bizarre. And I remembered something from last year too. It stormed really bad in the Kanawha Valley. Darren was texting me saying he thought that game was going to get suspended. Thankfully, it didn't.
Yeah.
But they came close to that because he could see it in the distance.
Well, I remember we had a big injury timeout last year too.
Yeah.
We had like a 20-minute injury timeout. A kid had to be carted off the field, so that took up a lot of time too.
Well, and
Tonight it's just been an array of things.
it's weirdly enough, my brother just made an observation. He thinks he saw lightning in the area.
That'd be fine with me.
Yep.
Let's get out.
We're good. Game's over. Go home.
Let's go.
Stands are already empty, and that makes it a lot easier. Fellas, let's go. I know y'all don't want to get home at like midnight. It's the shortest drive of the year for an Oak Hill opponent, and y'all still might get back later than other teams.
Taft picks it off for the Warriors.
And that snap is...
It's a good kick.
Kick is away, yes. Back to the 10, to the 15, to the 20.
That's
to the
Brandon Brooks.
25.
He's going to get a good
Brooks,
return.
He is going to get a good return.
Yeah, it's a really good return out there past the 45.
And in so doing, he killed about 11 seconds. This will move Oak Hill to 2-0. Riverside will fall to 0-2 on their young season. And like we said, they'll host St. Albans next week while Oak Hill takes the show on the road to Princeton.
And Devon Marion's 20th career win. He's 20-5 now.
Yes, and that actually moves him, I think, into 8th place all-time on the Oak Hill win list.
No kidding. Look at you.
I think.
I didn't know that.
Let me pull it up again. I had it here.
Really off to a nice start in his career here at Oak Hill. Done a heck of a job.
Yes, it would have him pass Eddie Suk. Suk went 19-12 in his time at Oak Hill, so that would move him into 8th.
Well, good for Coach Marion.
He can pass, I think, 1 or 2 more guys this season,
Okay.
depending on how things go. He's not going to be top 5, even with a perfect record, but he'll be climbing up the more this team wins, of course.
Well, winning percentage, he's probably going to be at the top.
I would say, yeah.
I guess you have to have a certain minimum number of games for that to matter, but he's going to be right at the top for winning percentage.
Yes, he is. And Oak Hill will watch the final 15 or so seconds roll off the game clock, and the handshake line commences at exactly, by my math, that should be, I think my watch is a little off, 9:59.
Right
We made
under
it.
3 hours.
We made it. All right, we'll get Chris out of here at a decent hour because I got to pack up and get the heck out of here. Final score, Oak Hill 29, Riverside 7. We thank you so much for watching on the River Network. We shall be with you next week, and we'll figure out what game we do. If we can go down to Princeton or if we'll find somewhere else around the area we can highlight. Once again, we thank you so much for tuning us in. Good night, everyone.
As you exit the stadium, please help us keep the campus of Oak Hill High School beautiful